माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी
और प्रेमानंदे जय श्री श्री राधा माधव की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की जय, श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय, श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, श्री नरसिंह चतुर्दशी महामहोत्सव की जय, समवेत गौर भक्तविंद की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Hare Krishna. So we wish everybody a very very happy Narsingh Chaturdashi. This class is supposed to be in English, right? English, no? Yeah. So it's our great fortune to be together here on this very very auspicious and most wonderful festival of Lord Narasimha's appearance day. And we all sitting here know that how great significance this pastime has in our own lives. To such an extent that Srila Prabhupada, he made sure that in ISKCON we specifically worship Krishna, Lord Ram and Lord Narasimha. Therefore, if we see so many ISKCON temples, and in our preaching and adventures, we have come across people who are surprised that, oh, in ISKCON you have deities of Lord Ram also. Anybody has come across such people? There are many such people who are surprised that, oh, we thought ISKCON is only about Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And but Prabhupada very categorically wanted to establish the worship of regular worship of Krishna, Sitaram, Lakshman, Bhakt Hanuman, and also Narasimha. Anybody knows why? Why specifically these three? Of course, ultimately Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God, and these are all different forms. But anybody knows why specifically Prabhupada said that these three? Yes, Prabhu? There are many Leela avatars. Why? What's special about these three? Prabhuji?
Because he is Bhakta.
Yeah, our Uttam Damodar Prabhu obviously got it right. Because in these three forms, Lord reciprocates with devotees. Primarily, Lord reciprocates with devotees. And also, obviously, Lord Narasimha is especially, he protects our devotional service. So we'll discuss several pastimes and also from Chaitanya Leela and also from Srila Prabhupada's pastimes that how in our life Lord Narasimha occupies a very very important position and role. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya. 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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopal Kumaraya Devindaya Namo Namaha. So we are reciting this morning this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 18, verse number 8. So this is 5:18:8 from Srimad Bhagavatam. Namaste Jaste Jasya Viravirbhava Vajra Nakha Vajra Damstra Karmashaya Randhaya Randhaya Tamograsa Grasa Om Swaha Abhayam Abhayam Atmani Bhuyistha Om Shram Namaste Jaste Jasya Viravirbhava Nakha Vajra Damstra Karmashaya Randhaya Randhaya Tamograsa Grasa Om Swaha Abhayam Abhayam Atmani Bhuyistha Om Shram Namaste Jaste Jase Avirbhava Vajra Nakha Vajra Damstra Karmashaya Randhaya Randhaya Tamograsa Grasa Om Swaha Abhayam Abhayam Atmani Bhuyistha Om Shram. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimhadev, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possesses nails and teeth, just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurummilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakammalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagar Jatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratvishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhasute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vacha Kalpa Tarubheshra Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I am very grateful to have this opportunity by the grace of all seniors, the temple management and all wonderful senior Vaishnavas to get this opportunity to speak on the glories of Lord Nrsimhadev and Srila Prahlad Maharaj on this most auspicious occasion. I have no qualification and I am an ignorant, insignificant fool, and we have such wonderful seniors here. I seek their blessings, I seek their permission, and so that I can speak something which is in line with our parampara and which can please Srila Prabhupada, the Vartaman Acharya Vrind, and for my own purification. So this verse, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 18, Shloka 8, is very, very significant. So today is Narsingh Chaturdashi and we all want to offer prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev. Right? And who can be the Acharya for offering prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev? Prahlad Maharaj, right? Of course, we know there are multiple answers in Krishna consciousness, and the speaker is always wanting to hear one particular answer. So, but obviously this makes sense, right? Prahlad Maharaj, Nrsimhadev specifically appeared to protect his very, very dear devotee Prahlad Maharaj. And Shukadeva Goswami is narrating in Srimad Bhagavatam, this particular chapter 18, how the different residents of Jambudvip, and there are different varshas in Jambudvip, how in different varshas, different incarnations are prominently worshipped, by the devotees of that incarnation. And in that sequence, in this particular, just before these verses, Shukadeva Goswami is describing how in this varsha called Hari Varsha, there is Lord Nrsimhadev in Hari Varsha in Jambudvip. And there Prahlad Maharaj, his servitors and so many other worshippers of Lord Singhadev, they are present and they are eternally offering these prayers. So Shukdev Goswami is specifically saying in the previous shloka, in 7th shloka, that Prahlad Maharaj, his servitors and his associates and his followers in Hari Varsha, they are eternally offering these prayers to Lord Narsingh. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Narsingh, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possesses nails and teeth just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. So we have to, as we know, when Srila Prabhupada appeared, his father named him Gaur Mohan, they named him Abhay Charan. Why Abhay Charan? Because he is somebody who is at the lotus feet of Krishna. He is taking shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna, and therefore he has become Abhay, fearless. Srimad Bhagavatam also says that how, I think it comes in Kardam Muni section, that how Kardam Muni was able to provide Ashok and Abhay to Devahuti. So Devahuti had almost become very emancipated in serving Kardam Muni, in assisting Kardam Muni in his service to Krishna, and she did not take care of herself at all. As a result, now did that go in waste? It did not go in waste, because it is said that Kardam Muni, whatever result he got by his spiritual austerities and practices and sadhana, he was able to award the same result to his good wife Devahuti. So that's a very, very wonderful science of Grahastha Ashram. Anyway, the topic today is not that. But then specifically it is said that Kardama Muni provided these two things to, of course we know that he made all these aerial mentions and all those things, they are externals. Most importantly, Kardama Muni awarded Ashok and Abhay to Devahuti. So that's what happens, the more our relationship with Krishna, with his pure devotees revives, the more we take shelter of them, the more we become Abhay. And here we see Prahlad Maharaj and his associates are praying to become fearless. So there are many things from which we want to pray to become fearless of what? So here Prahlad Maharaj is saying he wants to become fearless of the struggle for this material existence, right? So that's certainly one of the things which we should become fearless about. Any other things for which we should pray that we should become fearless about? Yes? Vraj, Vijay, Achyut Prabhu.
The material desires in the heart.
Material desires in the heart, of course we should fear them, but the meaning of trying to become fearless is that okay, we should be able to overcome. That's the meaning of becoming fearless here. Any other thing with which, yes Prabhu? Vaishnava Aparadh. Trying to become fearless of Vaishnava does not mean that I will keep doing Vaishnava Aparadh, I don't fear, I have taken shelter of Lord Narsingh. We have to understand this very, very clearly. It means that we should be protected from Vaishnava Aparadh so that we do not have it fear. But we have the fear, and like that. Any other things for which we want to become fearless? Very, very prominent in Srila Prabhupada's life and what our Sampradaya stands for. Preaching. There we want it even more, we want full potency of Lord Narsinghadev, because in preaching we have to face so many obstacles, right? And we have to take shelter of Lord Narsinghadev. As we know, Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, if I am not wrong, in Mayapur, he was the one who suggested that we should start worshipping Lord Narsinghadev when there were so many troubles from so many local people, right? Even in Srila Prabhupada's time, in late 60s, when Srila Prabhupada was undergoing some tremendous health problems, and devotees were thinking, what will happen? Looks like, he will not be there with us. Srila Prabhupada specifically told his disciples to pray to Lord Narsinghadev, please pray for the health of your spiritual master because his mission is not yet complete. Prabhupada like that told his disciples and followers that please pray to Lord Narsinghadev for protection of your spiritual master because his mission is not yet complete. So similarly, we understand how we have to very helplessly depend on shelter of Lord Narsinghadev to protect us from many things. And today in this session, in the course of this session, we will see several things from which we want to pray. So anyway, little bit context of what is happening here, how this Narsingh Leela is coming in Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So 6th canto describes how Diti has these two sons. Who are the famous sons of Diti? The Daityas, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. So Srimad Bhagavatam has two kinds of heroes. We know, right? Srimad Bhagavatam has two kinds of heroes. One are those from whom we learn what to do. And others are those from whom we learn what not to. They are also heroes, by the way. They are just not like that in Srimad Bhagavatam. They have occupied the pages in Srimad Bhagavatam because they are heroes. Like, we know in case of Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Ajay Vijay, right? Great devotees of the Lord, Bhishma Mahajan, everybody. But there are heroes from whom we learn what to do, and there are heroes from whom we learn what not to do. So Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha are those kind of heroes. Anyway, I know it's a little bit pinching us when we are calling them as heroes. So there is something which I always remember. You know, there is this formula. Okay, should we respect Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha or not?
Yes.
We should respect, right? Because this formula is respect all, hear some, follow one. What is the formula? Respect all, hear some, follow one. In our case, who are we following? We are all Prabhupada Anugas. We are all following Srila Prabhupada. So anyway, so sometimes, you know, we have a doubt. Oh, should we respect these demons? Oh, yeah, I mean, they are also children of Krishna. We should see how they are dear to Krishna, right? Yeah, Krishna may slap them, you know, to set them right? But they are dear to Krishna, right? And therefore we should respect all without exception. Yes, we can hate the sin, but we should not hate the sinner. We should respect all. Such things now make our life very simple and clear. Otherwise we have a lot of dharma sankar. We are supposed to be respecting Amanina Manadena, yet we have a demon in front of me. So Prabhuji, what should I do? Should I respect or not? Very clear. What is clear? Respect. You may not follow, you may not obey, you may differ in opinion, you know, those things are, but respect. Just like we know in Prahlad Maharaj's example also, right? Prahlad Maharaj, did he disrespect Hiranyakashipu? No. Did he disobey Hiranyakashipu? No. Right? If Hiranyakashipu tells you, please smoke cigarette, if your father tells, fathers typically don't do that, but let's say somebody says smoke cigarette, will you smoke cigarette? No. So will you obey or disobey? Disobey. So the formula is respectfully disobey. What is the formula? Many times devotees they misunderstand these things. Just like, I'm digressing a bit, but please allow me to digress. These are very important points to be discussed. Just like devotees many times misunderstand between detachment and irresponsibility. These are two different things. Detachment does not mean irresponsibility. These are responsible. We are supposed to be responsible and we are supposed to be detached. These two go together. Many times devotees think that, oh, I am detached. Oh, where is my wife? Where is my children? I don't know. Oh, where is my bead bag also? Sometimes we don't know. It was last yesterday. So that's not detachment. Oh, I am completed. Sometimes devotees, they keep their mobile here and there. You know, they leave mobile sometime in auto, sometime in cab. You know, and then later when some other devotees are, Prabhu, this is Krishna's property, please take care. Prabhu, I am detached. This is not detachment. This is irresponsibility. Okay, there is also. Similarly, what we are discussing right now, what is the other thing we talked about? Respect versus following. So respect does not mean following. So Srila Prabhupada is telling by his example how we should we can respectfully disobey if the situation demands. Right? Anyway, coming back. So Shukadeva Goswami is describing how Diti had these two children, very dear children, and who were in the instigation of Indra. These two children were demolished. So Hiranyaksha was finished by whom? Varahadev. And Hiranyakashipu was finished by whom? Narsinga. So this comes in 6th canto, briefly. Now Parikshit Maharaj is saying, oh acha, so is Lord partial? Is Lord partial? You know that okay, Indra said, they are doing something, Indra went and complained. And then, you know, Lord Narsingadev and Lord Varahadev, they finished Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So, and we know the answer, right? We know that's not the case, right? We know how Lord does not discriminate. He reciprocates. Krishna, he does not discriminate. Krishna doesn't discriminate, but he reciprocates. Just like in a class, there are so many students sitting in a class, right? And some students are favorite of the teacher, correct? Not because the teacher was partial, everybody was equal, but some children, because of their eagerness to receive more, because of their obedience, they were getting more favor, right? So it's like not discrimination. This is not called discrimination. This is called reciprocation. So Shukadeva Goswami clarifies, Narad Muni clarifies all those things, and all that. Shukadeva Goswami clarifies all those things. And one more interesting thing we see here is, does Parikshit Maharaj not know this? Parikshit Maharaj is a pure devotee of the Lord. He knows this. And still he is asking. A very important lesson for us. When we ask questions to senior devotees or to other devotees, it does not mean that we don't know. Still we ask because that deepens our realizations. When we ask questions to senior devotees in particular, apparently the question could be very simple. Prabhuji, how to have determination to practice Krishna consciousness? Now, sometimes let's say if others are also present, we may wonder, if I ask this question, they will feel that I don't have determination. But that's not the point. When we ask these questions to devotees, to seniors, we get benefited by their deep realizations and convictions, and our own conviction deepens. So that's what Parikshit Maharaj is establishing here. Anyway, so we know those answers, how Lord is actually not partial and all that. And then to describe how Lord is not partial, in fact, Shukadeva Goswami is telling that what you speak of partiality, in fact, the Lord even delivers the demons. And to describe that, Shukadeva Goswami is quoting the conversation between Narad Muni and Yudhishthira Maharaj, wherein Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking Narad Muni that how is it that Shishupal got liberated. We all know that when this thing happened, everybody saw Shishupal, coming out from his body and merging in Krishna's body. Sayujya Mukti is what he got, correct? So Shukadeva Goswami, to even establish what to speak of partiality, in fact Krishna is so equal to everybody that he even liberated demons. For that he is quoting the conversation between Narad Muni and Yudhishthira Maharaj, when Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking Narad Muni, जय श्री राधा माधव की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की जय, श्री गौर निताय की जय, श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. I was told we will have darshanarti after this class, so please forgive me for being in between you and the darshanarti. Anyway, so but I'm sure Krishna will be very happy if we are trying to hear about himself and his devotees. So Shukadeva Goswami is quoting this conversation between Yudhishthira Maharaj and Narad Muni, wherein Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking Narad Muni that how is it that Shishupal, who was so envious of Krishna, got liberated. And then Narad Muni is describing these shlokas, about the glory of absorption in Krishna. Gopaya kamadhaya kamso devasa chaidadyo nirpaha sambandha vishnaya sneha yuyam bhaktya vayam vibho. Narad Muni is telling, my dear King Yudhishthir, the gopis by their lusty desires, Kamsa by his fear, Shishupal and other kings by envy, the Yadus by their familial relationship with Krishna, you Pandavas by your great affection for Krishna, and we, the general devotees, by our devotional service, have obtained the mercy of Krishna. Narad Muni is telling. Kama, fear, krodha, envy, familial relationship, affection and devotional service. Because then Narad Muni is saying, that's not the point. The point is, somehow or other, Manaha Krishna Niveshayat. That's the very next sloka, 7131, 7132. Narad Muni is telling, somehow or other, one must consider the form of Krishna very seriously. Then by one of the 5 different processes mentioned above. Which 5 different processes mentioned above? Either by lusty desires, or by fear, or by envy, or by familiar relationship, or by affection, or by general devotional service, one can return home back to Godhead. Atheists like King Rena, however, being unable to think of Krishna's form in any of these 5 ways, cannot attain salvation. Therefore, one must somehow think of Krishna, whether in a friendly way or inimically. Of course, we know how Prabhupada explains that Shuddha Bhakti definition is Anukulena Krishnanu Sheelanam. Anukulena, right? So we don't follow demons' way of being absorbed in Krishna, but what is being emphasized is the glory of absorption in Krishna. That the glory of absorption in Krishna is such that even if we do it unfavorably, demons who do that, they get liberated. So, the festivals like Narsingha Chaturdashi, or such festivals, they give this great opportunity and privilege to us to absorb ourselves more and more and more. Today morning we heard this announcement that we have this class, after this we have another nice program, then we have 11 o'clock Sunday feast class by His Grace, Keshav Kripa Sindhu Prabhu, then we have evening, so many festivities, dramas. What is the purpose of all of this? To be able to absorb ourselves. Manaha Krishna Niveshayat. So then Narad Muni goes ahead and describes, Yudhishthira Maharaj wanted to know more details, that how is it that, they become, So basically, when he is described, when Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking Narad Muni, how is it that Shishupal got delivered, he is going into some backstory, right? And we know this backstory of Jay and Vijay, right? Right now we will not get into those details. So Narad Muni is describing Jay and Vijay and how the Chatushkumaras, they cursed Jay and Vijay to take these three births as demons. And that's how, we know how Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, then Ravan, Kumbhakarna, and then Shishupal and Dantavakra, and that's how he connected with Shishupal's story. This is very interesting that actually 7th canto talks about Uti, means different inclinations. Out of the 10 topics, Sarga, Visarga and all that, out of 10 topics, of course all topics are there in all cantos, but primarily different cantos focus on different topics also. So Acharya says, that the 7th canto focus on Uti, the topic of Uti, which means inclinations, different inclinations. And here in 7th canto we see that some people have inclinations like Prahlad Maharaj, and some people have inclinations like Hiranyakashipu. The inclination like Hiranyakashipu is a result of Jay and Vijay's anger. And the inclination of Prahlad Maharaj is a result of Narad Muni's mercy. You see the contrast, right? So when great saints like Narad Muni, when they are pleased, what are blessings? Many times we say, we go to Guru Maharaj, please bless us. Or we pray to Krishna, please bless. What are blessings? Blessings are spontaneous good wishes coming from the heart of great souls. Spontaneous good wishes coming from the heart of great souls. So we cannot get blessings by duplicity. We cannot get blessings by duplicity. It is said Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Patit Pavan. Yes? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Patit Pavan. So let's say somebody is smoking a lot of cigarettes, chain smoker. In our movement we have had a lot of chain smokers. Who by getting the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they have become wonderful pure devotees. Chain smokers, drug addicts and what not. So what do you think? Let's say if somebody comes to temple who is a drunkard, what will we do? Will we shut the doors of temple for them? Why? Not because of our power. We have no power. We will probably fall down if we associate. But whose power? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. Ghar ghar Gauranga. Ghar ghar Gauranga. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is very powerful. Dina hina jeta chilo Harina Avdharino Tar Sakshi Jagai Madhai. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is so powerful. So we cannot get that mercy by kapat. So let there be somebody very sinful, that's not a problem. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Patit Pavan. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not Kapati Pavan. That is point to be noted, my Lord. What is the point to be noted? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Patit Pavan. So if we are very Patit, no problem. No problem. We are within the purview of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. But if we continue to be Patit, what did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say to Jagai Madhai? Sin no more. So that means no kapat. But if we are doing here also, coming here also, doing sin also, chanting also, 7th offense, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name, then also we say Gauranga, then we are out of the mercy of scope of mercy of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, right? So this mercy of great souls cannot be achieved by some duplicitous behavior. That whenever Guru Maharaj comes, we are in they are 4:30 Mangal Aarti, and all that. Just that's called as kapatya. There is some term there technically. That is called as that kind of kripa. But the real kripa of great souls is when we genuinely try to please them, when we genuinely try to serve them, when we genuinely try to follow their instructions. And that was the kripa patra. Such a kripa patra was Prahlad Maharaj. As we know, it will come in that story also later, but later when he is offering prayers to Narsingadev, Prahlad Maharaj has not seen Narad Muni. He was in the womb. Prahlad Maharaj was in the womb when he was hearing from Narad Muni. And later when he is praying to Lord Narsingadev, he is telling that, I want to keep serving my spiritual master. Right? I don't want to say that, okay, he is gone, his purpose is done, now I become a pure devotee, now I don't need him anymore. No, not like that. So therefore we see how because of Narad Muni's mercy, what kind of inclination is taking birth? Prahlad Maharaj. And because of Jai Vijay's Krodh, what is taking birth? Hiranyakashipu. We know that famous bhajan, right? Toma sthane aparadhe Tare Hari Naam Hari Sthane Aparadhe Tare Hari Naam Toma Sthane Aparadhe Nahi paritran, gone case. That is gone case. Offending devotees. So therefore, when great souls, they become angry, it's the greatest thing to be afraid of. Should we be afraid of our spiritual master or not? Yes, no. Yes. But is that afraid? Then how will that loving relationship be developed if we are afraid only? So it is both yes and no, right? Yes, in what sense? We should be afraid of committing aparadh. We should be afraid of displeasing the spiritual master. We should be afraid of going against their instructions. That's why when we do Guru Puja, how does it begin? Savdhanamate. Oh, now you are about to worship your Guru, please pay attention. Don't get distracted, because we should not even by mistake commit offenses. Right? It's so important to contemplate on the meaning of whatever we are doing every day. These acharyas have written such amazing Vaishnava bhajans that if we just contemplate on the meaning, we'll always be on the right track and we'll make progress in Krishna consciousness. So anyway, Jai and Vijay curse, they led to Hiranyakashipu. So now, when these three births was talked about and Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu was talked about, now Yudhishthira Maharaj became even more curious. Now we are talking about Yudhishthira and Narad Muni conversation. Yudhishthira Maharaj inquired, "Oh my Lord Narad Muni, why was there such enmity between Hiranyakashipu and his beloved son Prahlad Maharaj?" See, Yudhishthira Maharaj knows that son is very dear to father, is it not? Children are very dear to parents. This is not Maya. They are naturally dear to parents. Right? Children are naturally dear to parents. So Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking, why was there such enmity between Hiranyakashipu and beloved son Prahlad? And how did Prahlad Maharaj become such great devotee of Lord Krishna? Kindly explain this to me. That's how we should hear, wherein we should get these questions in our heart and we should ask these questions more and more, and we should not shy away from getting deeper. Not that Parikshit Maharaj is saying, "Arey Prabhuji, Shukadeva Goswami," he is not saying, "Arey already time is less, Prabhu, timer is going on, tick, 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 tick." And now first you talked about Vidur Maitre, now you went into that, those who are in computer science, they know programming recursion. Right? One function calls another function, from there is calling another function. So that something like that is happening in Bhagavatam. एक conversation शुरू करते हैं, उसके अंदर one more conversation, उसके अंदर one more conversation. Parikshit Maharaj is not thinking, "Arey, what are you doing? Please come back." Similarly, Yudhishthira Maharaj, Narad Muni is describing something, he's saying, "Wait, can you zoom in? Can you zoom in a little bit?" Once one devotee in Pune, he was telling us that how Prabhupada purports are so beautiful. Prabhupada purports are not ordinary. We know, right? In book distribution marathon month, we hear so many glories of Srila Prabhupada purports. So this devotee was giving a very nice analogy. He was telling, just like you have these movies, Hollywood movies, Bollywood movies, right? If there is an expert director, you know what the expert director will do? Expert director will not go into detail of each and every scene. Some things he will bypass and he will let the audience to think. In fact, I have seen some people who say that, "Oh, this movie was better, this movie was not better because this was for ordinary people. Everything was told explicitly." But intellectuals, they like surprises. They like, okay, things were not told, now you keep thinking. What was the plot behind it, what happened and all that. So an expert director, a very seasoned director, what he does is, some things he will get into details of that scene. Some things he will let the audience imagine, aisa hua hoga, and now this scene is coming. Are you getting it? Similarly, this devotee was telling that Prabhupada purports are like that. You see in Prabhupada purports, some slokas Prabhupada just gives translation and goes ahead. Some slokas, some 3-4 line purports. Some slokas, okay, now let's hear. 1 page, 2 page, 3 page, Prabhupada is zooming in. And as an Acharya, Prabhupada knows where to zoom in, where to get into details, like that. So Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking. And then Narad Muni is now describing all those things which led to Lord Narsinghdev's appearance. We know how Varahadev killed Hiranyaksha, and after Hiranyaksha was killed, what did Hiranyakashipu? So everybody started crying. So what did Hiranyakashipu do? Preacher, device preacher, discover yourself and all those courses, and all our Bhakti Diksha initial modules, everything he took. Body, soul, everything he took. Right? What is one main lesson we derive from here? It is not speaking big philosophy which makes us a devotee. We all know Hiranyakashipu is not a devotee. I mean, in this past time, right? Very clearly. We know what is he representing. What is Hiranyakashipu representing? Demon. That hero which we are not supposed to follow. Correct? So we have to instill inside us again and again that it's not just by speaking big philosophy that we become a devotee. So what makes us a devotee? Practice of that philosophy, yes. Devotion, surrender to Krishna is what makes us a devotee. Otherwise, Ravana was also a big pandit, correct? And also, it's not that they don't have culture. See, Prabhupada said we have to become devotees by 3 ways. Knowledge, culture, devotion. KCD. Do you know KCD? I'm sure there would be some devotees, initially devotees also KCD. Right? But KCD, what Prabhupada said, how we have to become devotees? By 3 things. By knowledge, culture and devotion. Do you think demons have knowledge? We are saying here only. We see Ravana, so many people. Do you see demons have culture? They also have culture. Like, our Uttam Damodar Prabhu had come to our center and he was telling that how, the Duryodhan, we know those 5 arrows which Bhishma Maharaj had kept aside. And when Arjuna asked, Krishna told, go ask those 5 arrows. Right? When Arjuna asked Duryodhan, Duryodhan gave also. Why? Because Duryodhan had given a word. When those people in forest, when those, who were they? The tribal people, when they had captured Duryodhan and party Pandavas had saved them. Right? At that time, Duryodhan had given a word. You can ask me whatever you want. Right? Problem is these people, they give blank check. That's a big problem. Blank check is a problem. Anyway, so because he was true to his word, see, they also have principles. Only in Kali Yuga we don't have principles. Otherwise, earlier even demons had principles. Right? They know how to respect people. They would have all those kind of things. Of course, not the best culture, but some culture they had. They had some culture. So what is it that differentiates a devotee from demon? Very clearly, very categorically. जहाँ पे कोई doubt ही न रहे. Devotion, surrender to Krishna, and that's what differentiates. In spite of speaking this big philosophy, what is Hiranyakashipu's conclusion? Sainiko, पकड़ो विष्णु को. This is the last session of Bhakti Vriksha. Or last session of whatever other courses, whatever names we say, right? Then that makes doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani. Milk and water, no problem. No confusion now, black and white, right? What is the conclusion? So after speaking big Bhagavad Gita philosophy, Hiranyakashipu's conclusion is he is ordering all his people, go catch this Vishnu. He is our number 1 enemy. So this is wrong conclusion, right? So once His Grace Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu was telling 4 characters, or Bhagwan Prabhu, they were telling 4 characteristics of demons. Why we should know this? To find demon. 1, 2, demon. Is that the purpose why we are understanding about demons? What's the purpose? Ourselves. Demon. That's the purpose. Otherwise, knowledge is a double-edged sword. Knowledge is a double-edged sword. When we hear classes, sometimes we think, hey, Prabhuji is speaking very important point. Good that the devotee is hearing. That's what happens sometimes. That's not, when we are sitting and hearing, when we are chanting, when we are hearing, whenever we are doing these core spiritual practices, we should think that in this entire creation there is nobody but me and Krishna and these pure devotees. And this message is for whom? Me, not us also. Me. This message is for me. So now do you want to know what are the 4 characteristics of demons? First is they defy authority. मतलब फॉलो करना तो उनके उसमें है ही नहीं. They will not want to follow. First thing is defy authority. क्या बोला? ये बोला ना, ये तो नहीं करेंगे, बाकी सब कुछ करेंगे, ये नहीं करेंगे. Defy authority. Second is they have a tendency to exploit nature and people. They have a tendency to exploit nature and people. अपने फायदे के लिए exploiting nature and people. Third, they challenge God and break His laws. They challenge God and break His laws. And fourth, they die tragically. They die tragically. And we can see Hiranyakashipu is like a Murtiman Swarup. He is the personification. He is the hero of all demons. He is like the best materialist award goes to Hiranyakashipu. We know gold and soft bed like that. So defy authority, exploit nature and people, challenge God and break His laws, and die tragically. And that's what Hiranyakashipu did. He exemplifies those personalities. Why we are hearing this? So that we understand that any time, okay, do we have these things in us? Yes. We should not think we are pure devotees. We should not think we are devotees. We should think we are trying to become devotees. We are trying to become devotees. That's what we should think. We are sadhaka. Every morning when you look yourself in the mirror, brahmacharis are a small mirror, but grihasthas are a big mirror. So when you look yourself in the mirror, what do you think? Who are you looking at? Body? Certainly not. We have learned a lot of lectures. Then devotee? Sadhaka. We should see ourselves as sadhaka. Because when we see ourselves as sadhaka, then we will not neglect our sadhana. If we see ourselves as so and so post holder, then red light in brain, ting 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 ting. If we see ourselves as so and so, whatever, there are many P's: position, prestige, possession, penny. Many P's are post, right? So many. If any of those things come in mirror, then that's a red light. Danger. That's the purpose of reading and hearing. That whenever there is danger, we get alerted. It should trigger in our head. So what should we see ourselves as? Sadhaka, sevaka and sanik. We should always see ourselves as sadhaka, sevak and sanik. How sadhaka? Because we are doing sadhana bhakti. The only hope which we have in a spiritual life is to follow the instructions of Guru and Srila Prabhupada. That is sadhana bhakti. To follow the instructions of Shastras and try to become devotees. So we have to remember more and more every day that I am a sadhaka. I have to better pay attention to my sadhana. Attentive sadhana, what it said, absorbed sadhana and attentive dealings gives us a ticket back to Godhead. What holds the ticket back to Godhead? Absorbed sadhana and attentive dealings. We should never be negligent about things. Anyway, coming back, so we should see ourselves as sadhakas. What else I said we should see ourselves as? Sevaka. Who am I? Servant of servant. But what do we want to become? Boss. चलेगा. But full form change करना पड़ेगा. Best of servant. चलिए उसमें भी बेस्ट नहीं कर सकते, बट चलो एक्रोनिम है तो डालना पड़ा. But servant of servant is what we should think. Once one devotee was telling, "Arey Prabhuji, he is a don." And he would be, "Arey, in Krishna consciousness, what kind of language you are speaking, don?" And I said, "Arey Prabhu, don't worry, devotee of Narayan." Devotee of Narayan is don. Anyway, so we are sevakas. We should always remember, Jivir Swarup Hoye, Krishna and Nityadas. Gopir Bhartur Pad Kamalayor, Das Anudas. That's our identity. So every time we see mirror, next time, whenever you are seeing mirror, the less you see the better. But whenever you see, please remember SSS. Sadhaka, Sevaka. What was the third one? Sainik. We have a responsibility on our shoulders. Sainik means soldier. What soldier? Whose soldier? Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's army. That responsibility we can never forget. Our movement is not a movement wherein we are somehow coming and chanting and happy and going back home back to God. That's one more thing which Prahlad Maharaj taught. Correct? In his prayers, he said that I want to go only when everybody goes. So he is more about everybody's welfare. Preaching is the essence. What are the four pillars of ISKCON? Books are the basis. Utility is the principle. Purity is the force. ये बहुत बार बोलने में वॉल्यूम कम हो जाता है. इसको जोर से बोलेंगे. Purity is the force. Purity is the force. And preaching is the essence. That's very, very important. We should remind ourselves of these sutras very carefully so that we never lose sight of that. We are all Prabhupada girls. Unless we are regularly reading Prabhupada books, unless we are regularly hearing Prabhupada lectures, I have seen all the disciples of Prabhupada, they are attached to Prabhupada's books. I mean, of course, they know all Prabhupada books nicely. They are giving nice lectures which are inspiring us, correct? Anytime you see them, they are going to their room, they will open Prabhupada book. They will hear Prabhupada lecture, because that is what is needed. Yes, can we hear other devotees' books and other devotees' lectures? Yes, we can. Certainly we can. That enhances. The more we hear from great souls, it's not that great souls are only here. They are coming also, right? Otherwise, the disciple succession will finish, right? And we know so many other problems happening because of some misconceptions there, right? But great souls are great souls, but Prabhupada is Prabhupada. That's the point, right? Prabhupada is Prabhupada. So we can hear other great souls. In fact, that sometimes enhances and nourishes our understanding. No problem. But it should not be at the cost of hearing and reading Prabhupada. So once some senior devotee was telling that just like we have a plate of prasadam, let's say lunch prasadam, 4 course, 5 course, whatever it may be. Now in that, what is the most important thing which will nourish you and which will fill your stomach? Rice, dal, depending on North India, South India, whatever it may be, right? Either roti, chapati or rice, right? So that is the main thing. And what are the other things? Chutney, pickle, papad, taste makers, flavor makers and all that, correct? Now imagine if somebody in their plate keeps only these things, just like small children, they like to do that. Anyway, I'm not getting to the custom again. But if they keep that as the main thing, rice dal aap will have a little bit. Is that a good nourishment? No. Similarly, reading Prabhupada books, hearing Prabhupada lectures, is that nourishment. Is that nourishment which every devotee in ISKCON has to follow. There is no exception. Otherwise there is no ISKCON. Otherwise there is no ISKCON. It is like vitamin H. See, all of us are suffering from vitamin B12, I am sure. And vitamin D also. Every time you go for health checkup, vitamin B12 and D comes first. That's fine. But have you seen there is a vitamin H also? What is vitamin H? Hearing. Vitamin H का कमी नहीं होना चाहिए. Vitamin H should never, and that too Prabhupada hearing, very important. Very important. क्या होता है, why we sometimes sideline Prabhupada hearing? Who can tell me? Preachers can tell this. Same चीज बार बार बोल रहे हैं, same thing is repeating, and you are not getting any acronyms. Prabhupada lecture में मिला है acronyms? I try to find मिला नहीं. Sometimes when we actually eagerly बोला, then you will find that's a different matter, right? But ऐसा ready-made नहीं मिल रहा है, right? Acronyms नहीं मिल रहा है, some nice 1, 2, 3, 4 points नहीं मिल रहा है, 4 characteristics of demon नहीं मिल रहा है, right? So preacher लोग, time, see, nobody has time in this world. So what's the problem with in general with everybody, more so with preachers. Danger is there. Therefore, people have to be more on guard. More on guard. We want to see, I have only 2 hours to prepare for the class. Should I hear Prabhupada lecture or should I hear XYZ star? There are so many stars in ISKCON. Should I hear their lecture? Honestly, बताने का. Class के लिए prepare कर रहे हैं तो किसके lecture सुनने का पड़ेगा? Star points चाहिए. That's the problem. ठीक है, once in a while it's okay. But on a daily basis, our sadhana, we have to understand where it should be coming from. Where it should be coming from. Okay. So we'll proceed. Then we know what Hiranyakashipu did. Went and did tapasya. अरे हम और आप क्या तपस्या करेंगे? What tapasya will we do? We have the fasting also half. Once in our relatives, once some day was there when we had fasting till noon. Let's say Ram Navami. So we were fasting, and some relatives were there. And some relatives who are pious and all that, they are doing more fasting sometimes, and the traditional is there and all that. So we said, no, we will not take your fasting. He said, okay, so we will take in the night. No, we'll take in the afternoon. What kind of fasting is this? No, we have half fasting till noon only. Right? See, ISKCON, the Gaudiya Vaishnavism and our teachings are so udar. They are so accommodative. So we are actually, what austerity we are doing? But the biggest austerity we have to do is controlling the mind. That's the biggest austerity. Anyway, coming back to Hiranyakashipu, he set a high example of austerity but wrongly positioned. So, determination is a virtue which materialists have very nicely. I think Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur or Prabhupada says this, that we should learn determination from materialists. Arey, 5 o'clock in the morning they are running on the road. We don't have determination to chant morning 5 o'clock. And they are, whether it is cold, hot, they are going out and they are jogging and running, such a determination. So either Prabhupada or Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, they said that we should learn determination from materialists. And who is the number one materialist? The Pakka, number one man of the match. So he did such determination, but because of no obedience to Guru Sadhu Shastra, this was wrongly applied determination. Therefore, is determination enough? Discrimination is also needed. 2 Ds. When I was child, we used to in TV Doordarshan, there was this DD's comedy show. I don't know, some devotees may be remembering DD's comedy show. DD. Similarly, Doordarshan is called DD. So now we remember one more DD now. What DD we remember? So next time you see any new boy, whoever you are preaching to is talking about DD, what should come in your mind? Discrimination and determination. Shastra Chakshu. That's the advantage of hearing these things more and more. So determination in itself is not enough. Hiranyakashipu is teaching. Because you may have determination for wrong things. अच्छा इस प्रभु जी को मैं लेसन सिखाई दे रहूंगा कि मैं कितना हम्बल हूँ. प्रभु जी क्या सोचते हैं कि मैं हम्बल नहीं हूँ. मैं बता के रहूंगा कि मैं कितना हम्बल हूँ. Contradiction. हम्बल बताना है आपको तो बस सेवा करना शुरू कर दीजिए. से बताना क्या है. Once Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj came to Pune and he gave a class on respecting others. After the whole class he asked any questions and one brahmachari asked, Maharaj, how to respect? Maharaj said, start respecting. See, for everything there is no formula. There are some things for which there is no formula. How to be humble? Be humble. How to respect? Start respecting. Like that. Not that ये करो फिर ये होगा फिर ये होगा फिर ये होगा. Fall down का फॉर्मूला है. ध्यान विषाम काम संध्या से उपजाए थे संध्या संध्याए थे कामा कावा पे हो जाए थे. Fall down का फॉर्मूला है. ये करो फिर ये होगा ये होगा ये होगा ये होगा ये होगा. Better यही करो. Better nip it at the bud. You know, divine qualities का कोई फॉर्मूला नहीं है. Divine qualities service and blessings. Service and blessings. Genuine service, not kapat wala service. Genuine service, background service, like that. So anyway, so determination is not enough. Discrimination is important so that we know where to apply determination, right? Which he did wrong. Now of course we know he wanted to be. Brahmaji came. I mean there was a disturbance in the entire creation. Brahmaji came. He said, "Make me immortal." What did Brahmaji say? We all know. I am not immortal. How can I make you immortal? And then calculation started. In whose mind? Hiranyakashipu's mind. Calculated mentality. He is a hero from whom we learn what not to do. Please remember this. So he said, okay, then let me do this, that, everything he said. We all know that, right? And then Brahmaji has full faith in Krishna. Brahmaji has full faith in Krishna. कि immortal नहीं है ना बस, अभी मेरे अधिकार में है. बाकी is full faith in Krishna. Brajvasis, whenever there is any danger, they don't think much. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That does not mean we invite trouble in our life. We cannot sometimes imitate things wherein, see, Brahma was bound to give. That's how demigods are, you know, right? The demigods, if you follow the process, they are bound to give you results. He was bound, right? We should not take a wrong lesson that, oh, see, we heard in the class, Brahma ji, whatever happened, Krishna is there now. Brajvasis, whatever happened, Krishna is there now. So now we do. Prabhuji, chhod na, there is no petrol in car, no diesel in car, we'll go. Prabhuji, forget helmet, Prabhuji, Krishna is there now. We'll go, Prabhuji, Krishna is there. That's wrong. Do your best, then leave the rest. Do your best, then leave the rest. Again, in the name of transcendental, devotees end up doing many things. We have to understand these things very maturely, very nicely. Only then we will decorate ISKCON. Otherwise we will pollute ISKCON. Once I heard a class in Mayapur. There, one of these GBCs were telling that, he was giving an example of ashram. The brahmacharis should decorate brahmachari ashram. They should not pollute brahmachari ashram. How can a brahmachari pollute brahmachari ashram? What do you think? How can a brahmachari? Sharmaiya mat. Those which are facts are saying, we are not talking about all particular brahmachari here. We are telling how can a brahmachari pollute brahmachari ashram?
By doing things against the superior. By not following principles.
ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम के स्पेसिफिक बताइए थोड़ा डायरेक्टली. यस अनूप प्रभु. इलिसिट कनेक्शंस विद वुमेन पॉल्यूट हो गया ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम. करेक्ट. इज ही ब्रिंगिंग गुड नेम टू आश्रम और इज ब्रिंगिंग बैड नेम टू आश्रम? एनी अदर? पॉलिटिक्स ठीक है. I don't want to touch that right now. Any those accumulating money and things like that, right? How can a grahastha pollute his ashram? नहीं, illicit connections तो उसके लिए भी तो ऐसा नहीं है, only for brahmacharis, right? But चलो, okay, some connection is there, some genuine legit connection is there. But what is the other way a grahastha can pollute ashram? By not doing duties properly, by being a very careless father, by being a careless husband, by being a careless mother, by being a careless wife, by being a careless son. They are polluting the ashram, like that. These are important things to understand. Coming back here, that Brahma, we said that Brahma and Vishwasis, they are so dependent on Krishna that they are not worried about these things. No, they have done their best. And now they are talking about it. Similarly, we should not just use Krishna as our servant, that I keep making mistakes, Krishna is there to protect. No, it doesn't happen that way. Right? So we have to understand these lessons. Anyway, so then we go ahead. Now, whatever boon he got, almost invincible Hiranyakashipu became, correct? Now what he did? He was on a rampage in the entire world. So much so that the demigods are trembling. Demigods are trembling. Hiranyakashipu does like this and finished. Indra, Chandra, Varun, they are shivering like that. You know, that was true for Ravan also. And you know how Hiranyakashipu was several times more powerful than Ravan. There is this pastime, right, in Ramayana, that how when Ravan went to Bali asking for help, and then Bali said, who is the person with whom you have taken panga? Kiske saath you were fighting? So Ravan said, Ram is there. Then Bali says, hey, you know who is he? Come, I'll show you. Then he takes him to a golden mountain. Ravan says, ye kya itna bada golden mountain? He says, when you are Hiranyakashipu, this person came as Narsingadev. He slapped you and your earring fell here. This is your earring. Like that. And now he is taking panga. But anyway, so Hiranyakashipu, what he did, he was on a rampage, started destroying everything. The whole creation is thar-thar kaap, trembling in fear. And you know what he did? He attacked the Vedic culture. Once I was hearing one lecture, what is Vedic culture? Imagine if a foreigner comes to you. If a foreigner comes to you and asks this, I heard this in Surbekunj here when we had our Jagannath Mandir was in one of those lanes, our old temple in 2008-9, that time, there was a Surbekunj here where some youth devotees were staying. Shubhilas Prabhu, Purushottar Prabhu and some devotees. So there, one brahmachari from Belgaum, he had come and he was giving a class. And he asked us a question, I think it was 1st January, if I am not wrong, 2005. He asked a question. Imagine a foreigner comes to you and says, oh, you are an Indian, I like Indians so much, your culture is so nice. Can you please tell me what is Vedic culture? What will you say? Anupra is saying cows. Somebody said, Prashant Prabhu said Brahmanas. Somebody Varnashram. These things are there. As you know, every preacher, when they ask a question, all answers are right and appreciated, but they are looking for one particular answer. So the answer he was looking for was 3 things. He said Vedic culture is that culture which teaches you Asatama Satgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, and Mritama Amritgamaya. That way of living, that way of eating, that way of dressing, that way of worshipping, that way of music, books, movies, videos, drama, art, culture, cuisine, all those things such that from Asat we go to Sat, from Mrit we go to Amrit, and from Tamas we go to Jyoti. But today's generation, I am also today's generation only, let's say next generation, if parents don't tell some of these things, if the parents don't uphold the Vedic culture and the sacred principles of our culture, then you know what will happen? One person asked a boy, Beta batao tamsoma jyotirgamay ka matlab kya hai? And this boy said, tum so jao maa, main Jyoti ke ghar ja raha hu. That is a problem. We should not get into those things. Children are not to be blamed. What to do? Children are not to be blamed. Coming back, in one more lecture I heard a Vedic culture summarized, which is more closer to what you all said. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. A for absolute truth. वो ABCD दूसरा है. There are many ABCDs. Yeah, we should remember these things. One ABCD which you know is what? Association, books, chanting, diet, engagement, etiquettes and all that, right? Do you know there is one more ABCD which is a formula for success in life? Aim, behavior, character, discipline. You know what is the advantage of learning these acronyms? What is the advantage of learning these acronyms? First of all, it is easy to recollect. When we are going in car here and there from here to HSR layout to our travel, what to think? We can think these things, we can make notes. Somewhere we see ABCD, we can remember this. Somewhere we see DD, we can remember discrimination, determination, Shastra, Chakshu. That's one advantage, our own benefit. What's the other advantage? It becomes easy to share things with others. Let's say you are sitting with some new people. Depending on who they are, what's their approach, you can take off some things from your recollections and share one small thing for 5-10 minutes with them. If we are not really hearing properly, we will have nothing to share. Later somebody asked, Prabhuji, can you please speak something for 10 minutes? Now we are blank. Pura blank. What does it go to show? We may not be reading, hearing properly. That's one thing. And second thing is blessings and mercy. Otherwise, we may be reading, hearing a lot also, but we may still not recollect when we want to apply in life. Any example of that? Karna did not please his spiritual master. So knew a lot, but when it came to apply, he was not able to remember. So we hear a lot about being humble, and we every morning with full bhakti bhav we sing. Trinadapi sunichena tarurapi sahishnuna. Sometimes I've seen tears also come sometimes. Amanina manadena Kirtaniya Sada Hari. How many of us sing with full faith and devotion every morning like this? Please raise your hands. It is not bad, it is good to sing like this, with full faith and devotion every morning. Please raise your hands, whoever sings, right? But whenever in the whole day of activities and services or jurisdiction, my area, this area, when all these things happen, that time we are supposed to recollect. That's the purpose of reading, hearing. And how will that happen? By blessings and by mercy. When we are genuinely trying to please great souls, then automatically Krishna will make us remember whatever we are supposed to remember. Let's say there is a conflict between two devotees. At that time, Krishna will make us remember whatever we are supposed to remember if we are sincere. If we are sincere. So let's come back. So ABCD, I was telling that there is this, let's say you are talking to somebody, the success of life, success formula for life, ABCD. True for us also, not only for materialists, true for us also. Aim, behavior, character and discipline. Anyway, that was not the point here. So I was talking about acronym ABCD, EFG, H for Vedic culture, A for absolute truth. That culture which is centered around these things is called Vedic culture. A for absolute truth, B for Brahmanas, C for cows, D for Devatas. Yes, we need not go separately and worship Devata. But that does not mean we don't offer respects to Devata. That does not mean we do not acknowledge the Devata's roles in our life. That does not mean we don't acknowledge that Devatas are also dear servants of Krishna. Right? So Devatas. E for etiquettes and behavior. What culture without etiquettes and behavior? That means it's only in paper. Correct? It has to translate in etiquettes and behavior. A, B, C, D, E. F for anytime there is any danger, what is the first thing which should come to our mind? Krishna. Flee to the lotus feet of Krishna. Flee to the lotus feet of Krishna. Run to the lotus feet of Krishna. F. G for goodness. Ganga bhi chalega. As I said, many answers are there. ये सब add कर सकते हैं. See, Krishna consciousness is so amazing. It's ever expanding. Hari Ananta. Hari Katha Ananta. More and more devotees keep adding. G के बाद H के बाद I, J. पहले सुना था D तक था. मैंने जब सुना था उसी devotee से. उसके बाद उसी डिवोटी से सुना एच आ गया. थोड़ी देर बाद और कृष्णा गिव्स नाइस आइडियाज. सो वी कैन ऐड नेक्स्ट टाइम अभिजीत प्रभु कैन ऐड जी फॉर गंगा आल्सो. लेकिन जो सुना है उसको भी मेंटेन करना है, अदरवाइज फिर पूरा सब गंगा हो जाएगा. मतलब वी हैव टू प्रिजर्व आल्सो, नॉट दैट वी कैन कीप एडिंग ओनली, वी हैव टू प्रिजर्व द कोर मैसेज. Anyway, so G here what I heard was goodness. That means the culture which is of Sattva, which sustains us in mode of goodness. H for Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Our friend Hiranyakashipu attacked all these. Wherever people are chanting, pakad ke maru. He wanted to revert the law of karma. If you do good, you will get bad results. If you do bad, very nice, you will get good results. What not he did? He just completely attacked the whole Vedic culture. And then we know what happened. All the demigods. Who was the class monitor for all the demigods? Brahma is the, first there is Indra, Devraj Indra, and then with Indra they go to Brahma. Everybody follow this etiquette. Not that we directly go here. That may be done, that may be needed in emergency when there is problem here. But otherwise there is a culture and etiquette. That okay, we all go through our representative, then they go through their representative, then go through their representative, like that. And we see they are teaching us. Brahma is first Acharya. They go to Brahma and then Brahma offers prayers. And what does Vishnu tell? What does Krishna reply? to the prayers of demigods who are tortured by Hiranyakashipu beyond whatever we can comprehend. So Krishna is telling, the voice of the Lord vibrated as follows: O best of learned persons, do not fear. माँ शुचहा, पहला भगवान का पहला क्या रहता है? घबराइए मत, बाकी बाद में देखते हैं. घबराइए मत, मैं हूं ना. Like that Krishna says. Abhay, remember the first thing which we started with? That is the beauty of Krishna. Imagine if somebody tells you, or not somebody tells you, you know that Amit Shah or Modi ji is your bestest friend. बेस्ट मतलब वो ऐसा बोलने वाला नहीं, मतलब सच में, मतलब आप जो बोलोगे वो टालेंगे. Do you have any fear? No. Right? And what to speak of, these people, who is our bestest friend? Krishna. Peace formula Bhagavad Gita. How does that begin? Bhoktaram yakatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridaya sarvabhutanam gyatva maam shantim richati. So Krishna has only 1 minute to give you some message. What will Krishna first say? Do not worry. बाकी सब ठीक है. Right? Rest he will take care. So do not fear. I wish all good fortune to you. Become my devotees by hearing and chanting about me, just like Man Manaro Mad Bhakto. Krishna's message is very clear. And offering me prayers. For these are certainly meant to award benedictions to all living entities. I know all about the activities of Hiranyakashipu, don't worry. Now that you are telling me and I did not know something. And shall surely stop them very soon. Please wait patiently until that time. हर चीज का सही समय है. Everything has a right time. And you see, these things are so clearly repeated in our scriptures, all the more emphasized by our Acharya, that there is no confusion about these things. Just like before Samudra Manthan, right, we know how the demigods were on road, right? And all the demigods with Indra, they went to Krishna, please help us. What did Krishna say? Time is not with you, I can't help you right now. Indra said, now what to do? Go and shake with Bali. You see what's happening? It's not that, we have Krishna with us means anything can happen anytime the way we want. That's not what is Krishna consciousness. Anything will happen anytime the way Krishna wants, not the way we want. That's not bhakti. Bhakti is, let thy will be done. If Krishna wants me to suffer more by demons right now, yes boss. If Krishna wants to interfere and take away the demons, yes boss. That is bhakti. To be ready for whatever Krishna wants, that is bhakti. Not that, I want protection, so Krishna will protect me. That's not bhakti. So there also Krishna told, go shake hand with demons. Now, अभी इन लोग का अगर false ego होता बोलता shake hand with demons? What are you saying, Krishna? They are our enemies against which we have come to you with complaints, and you are asking us to shake hand with them? They did not say like that. They said, okay, yes, boss. Then at one occasion, Krishna, Ravan case. Then he went to Krishna. Krishna said, okay, don't worry, I will take birth as Ram. Meanwhile, you all become monkeys. Go. We are president. We are so and so. We have been charged with the entire universe and you are asking us to become monkeys. They did not say like that. They said, okay, yes, boss. That's why they are worshipped. That's why they are praised. That's why they are glorified. The demigods. And because at the end, they are mixed devotees. Yes, some of them. I mean, most of them. 6 of them are pure devotees. But at the end of the day, they are devotees. They are devotees, right? Similarly, here Krishna is telling, please wait patiently until that time. I will do everything. Don't worry. And then Krishna is continuing. When one is envious of the demigods who represent the Supreme Personality of Godhead, of the Vedas, which give all knowledge, of the cows, Brahmanas, Vaishnavas, religious principles, and ultimately me. You understood where the acronym is coming from? Right? Then, and ultimately of me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he and his civilization will be vanquished without delay. Tatshanat. He and his civilization will be vanquished. When one is envious of these 6-7 things which we talked about. And then Krishna is giving one more detail. इतना loose-ended, open-ended नहीं छोड़ रहे, थोड़ा और detail बता रहे हैं. When Hiranyakashipu teases the great devotee Prahlad, his own son, who is peaceful and sober and who has no enemy, I shall kill Hiranyakashipu immediately, despite the benedictions of Brahma. Don't worry. Narasimha Bhagwan ki jai. So you see how Lord is giving assurance. Lord is giving assurance. Devotees are giving big lectures on Lord's smile. Just like when Vyasadeva was, after writing all the Puranas and Upanishads and Vedas, What happened to Vyasdev? He was not satisfied from within. Kuch lag raha tha, something is missing. And then all of a sudden Narad Muni, his spiritual master, came, and it is said Narad Muni was smiling. For several reasons. One is because he understands what's going on, and secondly because he is there to kind of improve the situation. He will do something about it, don't worry, right? Similarly, Krishna, in Bhagavad Gita also we see he is giving at so many places a lot of assurances. Here also we see he is giving assurance, right? That's the faith which a devotee has. That's one of the things which makes a devotee a devotee. Strong faith in Krishna. Strong faith in Krishna. And then we know what happened after this. Prahlad Maharaj was born, right? And Prahlad Maharaj, wow, what a person he was. Of all good qualities. There's another workshop and seminar about transcendental qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. Today we are not going to that. There's another workshop on prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. Today we are not going to that. We are going to all other things. Isko chhod ke jo bachta hai, that's what we are discussing today. Okay. So, in Parikshit Maharaj episode, when Parikshit Maharaj was born, the Brahmanas are telling based on his Janma Kundali that he will have such great qualities as compared to such great personalities. There one of the things comes is that in devotion he will be like Prahlad. Prahlad is glorified for his devotion. And Prahlad used to see Krishna everywhere. Yomam pashyati sarvatra, sarvam cha mai pashyati. One who sees Krishna everywhere, Krishna sees him all the time. Krishna is always seeing him. And the shloka comes which says that Prahlad was like a madman. Mad for Krishna. Mad for Krishna. So Prahlad was mad for Krishna. So he was just like कभी कभी होता है ना, राहु केतु कोई बोलता है यार आपके ऊपर मंगल भारी है, इसलिए अभी आपका समय ठीक है, और दशा is not good right now. Similarly, what was the planet that was heavy on Prahlad? Krishna Graha. So once I was hearing this lecture of Amarendra Prabhu, wherein he was telling this very nice shloka written by Swami Harivansh. So Swami Harivansh was a sage in Vrindavan who was contemporary of Prabodhananda Saraswati. And Prabodhananda Saraswati has written Harivamsha Ashtakam in glorification of Harivamsha, and there he says that Harivamsha is a flute of Krishna. That Harivamsha, he has written this verse, very nice verse, good to remember, sometime later we will send on WhatsApp or something. Dwadash Chandra Titasthalat Mangal बुद्ध विरुद्ध सो गुरु बाका यदि दशम भवन भृगु सुता मंद सुकेत जन्म के अंका अष्टम राहु चतुर्थ दिवामणि तो हरिवंश करत न शंका जो भय कृष्ण चरण मन अर्पित तो वही करिका नवग्रह रंका. He says this very nice shloka. This means Dwadash Chandra, that means if moon is in your, so those who know astrology, I don't know, it seems there are some, these planets when they are in certain houses, it can be either auspicious based on which houses they are in, and it can be inauspicious based on which houses they are in. So Harivamsha in this shloka he is telling, he is bringing all the inauspicious combinations, not just by one or two planets, but by all planets. Let all planets be in the worst combination. So what he is saying in that context, Dwadash Chandra, if moon is in the 12th house, Kritasthala Mangala, if Mangal or Mars is in the 4th house, Buddha Viruddha, if Mercury is against you, so Guru Baka, Guru Jupiter, if Jupiter is also against you, that means it's not in a favorable house. Yadi Dasham Bhavan Brihusutta, who is Brihusutta? Shukra, Venus. If Venus is in 10th house, Manda Suketu Janam Ke Anka, Suketu is Saturn. If Saturn is also not in a favorable house, Ashtam Rahu, Rahu is in the 8th house. Chaturth Divamani, Divamani is Surya, Sun. Sun is in the 4th house. What are these? These are all deadly. In itself they are deadly. And he is telling if all of these are together, तो हरिवंश करत ना शंका, फिर भी हरिवंश को कोई टेंशन नहीं है. क्यों? जो भय कृष्ण चरण मन अर्पित तो वही करिका नवग्रह रंका. जिसका मन कृष्ण को अर्पित है उसको ये नवग्रह क्या करेंगे उसका, जिसके ऊपर कृष्ण का अनुग्रह है. One who has received the mercy of Krishna, one whose mind is completely hooked into the lotus feet of Krishna, what will these planets do to him? Like that he is saying. So like that Prahlad Maharaj was haunted by Krishna planet because he was so completely absorbed in Krishna. In fact, in Brihad Bhagavatamrit, this nice, so we know there are two main stories in Brihad Bhagavatamrit, correct? One story is of Narad Muni in search of that devotee who is the greatest recipient of Krishna's mercy. That's one story. And the other story is of Gopakumar going in search of Krishna. That Madan Gopal mantra, he is in search of the deity, Krishna. Like that. So that story of Narad Muni finding who is the best recipient of Krishna's mercy, we don't get into the whole details right now, but I want to come to Prahlad Mahara. So therefore I am saying that Narad Muni goes to a Brahmana, I think in Prayagraj. He is doing a lot of seva, a lot of service to all the Vaishnavas, feeding them, conducting programs and all that. And Narad Muni says, oh, you have received the greatest mercy. Brahmana says, no, I have not received. The South Indian king, he is doing much more seva. By whatever facilities he has got, point to be noted, by whatever facilities he has got, he is doing much more seva. Therefore, he is to be considered bigger recipient of mercy. One detail. How do you understand who has got mercy of Krishna? One who has got a lot and is using that lot in service of Krishna. That means Krishna is giving him more and more mercy because Krishna wants some things to be done. So Krishna will use who as his instrument? So let's say all of us have cut cloth in our life. कपड़ा को कैंची से काटा है. Mataji's may have cut साड़ी नहीं काटते. Something they may have cut and Prabhu's may have cut that sometimes two dhotis are attached. बीच में काटते हैं और कॉपी बनाने के लिए काट लिया. Whatever it may be, right? So let's say you have to cut a cloth and you have two scissors in front of you, two pairs of scissors in front of you. एक कैंची जो है ना वो पूरा रस्टेड है. तो रस्टेड कैंची का खचखच तो चलता नहीं है. Sometimes you have to take both hands and you see what I am trying to do? The rusted scissors. Rusted scissors, is it easy to cut cloth by the rusted scissors? No. And on the other hand, you have a silver, golden brass, whatever, new polished, nice sound is coming and it's cutting. So let's say you have two pairs of scissors in front of you. Which scissors you will pick up to cut cloth? Without doubt, second one. If Krishna has to achieve something in this world, we are all scissors. Which scissor Krishna will use? The one with rust or the one which is ekdam kach-kach? Kach-kach. Matlab pure. Pure in following his will. Like that. So therefore, one who is pure and sincere, Krishna will give more so that they can serve more. Krishna will give more so that they can serve more. And in this story of Brihad Bhagavatamrita, that is the theme of figuring out who is the greater recipient of Krishna's mercy. So from Brahmana, Narad Muni goes to this South Indian king. South Indian king says, what am I doing? Look at Indra. Krishna has given more to Indra and Indra is doing more service. So Narad Muni goes to Indra. After Indra, where is Narad Muni going? So Narad Muni goes to Indra. Indra says, see, that's the nature of a devotee. Devotee will not see, good, we have come to the right place. No. He will say, I am nothing. Go to Brahma. Indra says, go to Brahma ji. He is a bigger recipient of Krishna's mercy. He is doing more service on Krishna's behalf. He is a bigger recipient of Krishna's mercy. Indra goes to Brahma. Brahma, same story. Meanwhile, Narad Muni is not frustrated. He is gone wale khadi idhar se udhar kar rahe. Like that, Narad Muni is not telling. Narad Muni is very happy. His happiness is increasing only more and more. It's not that he is disappointed by going to Indra. He was very happy going to Indra. Now he is going to even be more happy by going to Brahma. From Brahma is sending him to Shiva. Narad Muni is even more happy going to Shiva. You understand the consciousness and the mentality? Not that Narad Muni is telling these people are only making a fun of me from here to there they are sending. Not like that. Right? So Brahma sends to Shiva. Shivji is our point of discussion. Shivji is telling Narad Muni, you think I am the recipient of mercy? And by the way, wherever Narad Muni goes, he glorifies. That why we think that you are the number one recipient of Krishna's mercy. And Narad Muni glorifies, that Banasur ke fight mein, because you prayed, Krishna saved Banasur. He gave mercy to Banasur because of you and so many things. Shivji is telling one point to Narad Muni here. Shivji is telling, my dear Narad, what do you think? Krishna gave mercy to Banasur because of me? What do you think? Krishna gave mercy to Bali. We know how Krishna gave mercy to Bali. Bali Maharaj, how? Vaman Dev. Atma, right? So Shivji is telling, do you think Krishna gave mercy to Banasur because of me? Do you think Krishna gave mercy to Bali Maharaj because of Bali Maharaj? No. Krishna gave mercy to them because of Prahlad. Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. And Shivji is now telling Narad Muni that go to Prahlad. He is a more dear devotee of Krishna. He is a bigger recipient of Krishna's mercy. That is the Prahlad Maharaj whom we are talking about. And do you know how Bali Maharaj is connected to Prahlad Maharaj? Prahlad Maharaj's grandson, Virochan, and Prahlad Maharaj's son is Virochan, Virochan's son is Bali Maharaj. And how is Banasur related to Prahlad Maharaj? Son of Bali Maharaj. So grandson and great grandson. That is the power of a pure devotee. In Brihad Bhagavatamrit, Shivji is telling, so we have to understand this as an authority, that the reason, one of the reasons why Bali got mercy and one of the reasons why Banasur got mercy is because of their connection with Prahlad Maharaj. This thing is so prominent in spiritual life and so important in spiritual life. Our only hope in Krishna consciousness is what? Our own power, our own devotion, our own great bhakti which we are proud of. So what? Our connection with Guru and Prabhupada. That is our only hope. That's our only hope. In fact, once I remember here only in our old temple, Jagannath Puri, our Jagannath Mandir here, Shashadipuram. Long back there was this Rath Yatra, I think 2005, 2006. And all these devotees, our wonderful seniors, Anupul Keshav Prabhu, and all other devotees, they were there and they were telling after the Rath Yatra, we should not think that this Rath Yatra became successful because of us. We should think this Rath Yatra became successful in spite of us. Those who are sleeping can wake up and laugh. So, this Rath Yatra became successful not because of us, but Rath Yatra became successful in spite of us. So, what can we be proud of? Sometimes we only do disservice at times or could not do best. Yet some miracles happen, achievements happen, wonders happen. That's all glory of Krishna. So it is only our connection with Guru and Krishna that is our hope in spiritual life, which is exemplified in this pastime. Shivji is telling that because of Bali Maharaj and Banasur's connection with Prahlad Maharaj, they got mercy. Imagine. So therefore, whenever we are offering obeisances, whenever we are worshipping Tulsi, whenever we are doing any service, whenever we are chanting, what do we do first? Remember Guru and Prabhupada. Otherwise, we are who? Who are we? We go and we catch the dhoti of Guru and Prabhupada. And Guru and Prabhupada say, okay. He is our person, let him in. They are our people, like that. That's our hope. And that is how the science of Krishna consciousness works. The science of Krishna consciousness does not work on our achievements. Bhakti is a path of grace. But again, knowledge is a double-edged sword. What grace are we talking about? We are not talking about इधर से उधर करके काम निकाल लिया. अरे प्रभु जी इस प्लान में कांटेक्ट होता है तो काम होता है. सुना है? जो जितना ज्यादा रहेगा इस काम में उतना ज्यादा सुनेगा और भी सुनेगा. आगे और भी सुनेगा. That's not what we are talking about. This is genuine grace we are talking about. हाँ कुछ काम हो जाएगा, पर हम ये कुछ काम करने के लिए नहीं आए हैं. सुबह हम लोग ये भी बोलते हैं. क्या बोलते हैं? Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must carefully guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. हम सब बोलते हैं बड़े प्रेम भाव से, भक्ति भाव से, पर are we really meaning it? Are we really serious about it? और वो मिलने के लिए असली वाला ग्रेस चाहिए. इधर उधर वाला साइड वाला ग्रेस नहीं, वो कॉन्टैक्ट वाला. बिकॉज we are coming from material world, so we have a tendency to bring material tendencies in our spiritual life. And see, just like we know, right, that those things which are in spiritual world are in material world also. There is prem there, just that perverted reflection. What is topmost rasa in spiritual world? Parakhiya bhav. What is the worst thing in material world? Parakhiya bhav. Illicit connection, extramarital affair, chori chori chup chup ke. Correct? What was best in the spiritual world becomes first here, but things are there. Similarly, this pure thing of getting grace and getting our urji आगे बढ़ाना, you see what I'm trying to say, like recommendation, in its pure form, is also perverted here, and that is there in material world. You know things, if you know Amit Shah, then you can, or whoever, then you know how things happen. You have to make a center, you have to make some OCCC, you have to get occupancy certificate, and all these things. You should know some local MLA. Then things will get done. That's the nature of things that we work. Now when we hear this, what is our tendency? What is our tendency? Oh, इधर भी यही चलता है. We are imposing this material distortion. We are thinking this is like that. Just like Ras Leela, what people think? It's like that. They are using they are imposing their materially contaminated conception on that. Similarly, this is like that. Are we getting this point very clearly? This is a pure concept which we are talking about. That everybody is thinking the other person to be better, and everybody is feeling themselves to be so insignificant and so unqualified that my only hope is my connection to this pure devotee. That's the right understanding. What is a diverted and what is a perverted understanding? अच्छा सोच के थ्रू काम हो जाएगा, ISKCON में भी हो जाएगा. That's a diverted understanding. We will not become pure devotees like that. Prabhupada did not come to do this. If you see Chaitanya, I think towards the end of Samaya Prabhupada writes, with all our books, with all our temples, with all these things, even if one person becomes a pure devotee, Samaya Prabhupada writes this, either in introduction, preface, some book. Bhagavad Gita introduction. If one person becomes a pure devotee, our effort will be successful. That's what it is. That purity is the force. That's what we should never forget. That why we have come to ISKCON. Why we have come to practice Krishna consciousness. What is our goal? Goal can be out of reach. Do you think goal is out of reach? Yes or no? Yes. Goal is बहुत बड़ा बात है. You know, when we hear about pure devotees in Bhagavatam and all other scriptures, when they say बाप रे जिंदगी भी बहुत गोल है. Goal can be out of reach, but goal should never be out of sight. Goal should never be out of sight. Then we will be protected. Okay. Yeah, so we talked about Shivji and Narad Muni conversation. And now we know what happened, right? So Prahlad Maharaj, such a wonderful devotee, out of 4 sons, he was the best. From our standards, he was the best. But Hiranyakashipu, from his perspective, was not best. Hiranyakashipu sent him to a demon school. I'll probably end in like 10-15 minutes. Do I have 15-20 minutes? Okay. So Hiranyakashipu sent him to demon school. Coming back to Grihastashram. There are demon schools and there are devotee schools. Demon school means what? It means that the parents are enforcing something on the child. That I want that my child should be doing this only and nothing else. Enforcing something on the child is not a good parenting. By force we cannot do anything. We should inspire voluntary service attitude and love for Krishna in children. And there are various ways. That's a different parenting thing which we can sometimes talk about, depending on what is the age of children. But Hiranyakashipu is the first example of child abuse in the world. मतलब हर चीज में मूर्तिमान स्वरूप है ना, बेस्ट है हर चीज में. तो चाइल्ड अब्यूज का भी फर्स्ट एग्जांपल है. अच्छा भाई लोग, ओपन हार्ट सर्जरी फर्स्ट कौन सा हुआ है? क्रिएशन. नरसिंह भगवान की जय. फर्स्ट ओपन हार्ट सर्जरी हैज बीन डन बाय नरसिंह देव सक्सेसफुली ऑन हिरण्यकशिपु. Similarly, first child abuse was done by 2 kinds of heroes. What to learn, what not to learn. So first child abuse example is Hiranyakashipu. So he was forcing Prahlad, नहीं तुम सिगरेट पियोगे. You should smoke, you should drink, like that he was doing, all those things. And then he went to Sanda Amarka school, we know, right? And he comes back and Hiranyakashipu is so excited. अरे अपने बच्चे से पूछेंगे क्या सीखा है स्कूल में? क्योंकि स्कूल में क्या सिखाते हैं? हिरण्यकशिपु भगवान. He wanted to hear that. His ears were longing to hear that from his son, dear son. And Prahlad Maharaj is saying, I learned that Brahmanis like you are like in deep dark areas. You should practice bhakti. With respect, he said, we should practice bhakti and Smaranam Vishnu, Sadhan Kirtanam Vishnu, and all that he was telling. Hiranyakashipu is furious. That Vishnu, who Hiranyakashipu is so envious of, that Vishnu who is enemy number 1 of Hiranyakashipu, his own son Prahlad is telling, ये सब सीख क्या आया? अभी कौन डर रहा है? संगमर का यार शिवलिंग. अरे क्या बोल रहा है यार? No, we are not talking like that he is doing. And then Hiranyakashipu becomes furious, and we know what Hiranyakashipu does. Child abuse to extreme. Elephant के नीचे डाल दिया, cliff से बाहर फेंक दिया, hungry snakes के बीच में डाल दिया, burning fire के अंदर बैठा दिया, poison दे दिया, what not we can imagine he did. Duryodhana and also did later. We all know that Pandavas के साथ they also did all kinds of things. Our Kauravas did all kinds of things with Pandavas, right? But this was even a bigger precedence, even before, with child. That took the child. Whatever we can imagine, wrong things he did with Prahlad. What was Prahlad doing through all this? Yes? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That's what Prahlad was doing. Right? Therefore we know how Smaranam, who is the Acharya for Smaranam? Prahlad Maharaj. What I said in scriptures in Krishna consciousness knowledge is double-edged sword. So if we think, okay, आग लगने दो सब जगह. Let's say, God forbid, Krishna forbid, let's say there is fire there. What should we do? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Is that what Prahlad is teaching? Things can be misunderstood. Okay? So what can somebody misunderstand? अरे गुरुजी होने दो जो हो रहा है. जाने दो सब नरक नहीं. इस्कॉन का बेड़ा गर्क होने दो. आसपास जो हो रहा है होने दो. हम लोग अच्छे से चैंटिंग करेंगे रोटी. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे. Is that what is the lesson we are supposed to draw from here? Let's analyze. What is our formula? Do your best, then leave the rest. Now in this case of Prahlad Maharaj, could Prahlad Maharaj have done anything? He could not have done anything. He was like an ant in front of Hiranyakashipu. So it was beyond his power to be able to do anything. And in that situation, what is to be done? That's the best thing he did. Now what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to, according to the directions of Guru Sadhu Shastra, we are supposed to do the needful. So let's say there is fire. What should we do? Yes, we should immediately remember Krishna, because that is a test of our Krishna consciousness. In danger, remember Krishna. But remember Krishna does not mean now we are sitting and remembering Krishna and wanting Krishna to extinguish the fire. It means only Krishna, 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 take bucket, say Krishna, 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 take bucket, take water, if it's not electricity fire. So intelligence also has to be there. Means we have to do something, to do the needful. We have to do the needful. And remember Krishna. Mam anusmara yuddhacha. Everything is connected. Everything is connected. If only we hear properly. Mam anusmara yuddhacha. So we have to do our best. Not that we have to do our best and then remember Krishna. No. While doing our best also we are remembering Krishna. And we are depending on Krishna. I am doing my best. The result is on Krishna. Let's say we get sick. So should a pure devotee go to doctor or not? Pure devotee, सोच समझ के बोलिएगा. Completely dependent on Krishna. Not dependent on doctors and medicine. Okay, चलो true or false? Is a pure devotee of Krishna dependent on doctor and medicines? True or false? False. Doubt नहीं होना चाहिए. They are not dependent on doctor and medicine. So ये false है. Question number 2. If a pure devotee falls sick, should he go to doctor and medicines? True or false? True. I mean, that is up to him. But if he goes, there is nothing wrong. That's what we are discussing. Not that, yaar, pure devotee, aap gaye nahi doctor ke paas. That's not what we are saying. Point is, if somebody goes, it's not wrong. And these two principles are not clashing. How? We use medicine, we don't take shelter of medicine. बोलिए. क्लियर हो गया ना कंसेप्ट एकदम. ये सब चीजें जब हम सीनियर डिवोटी से सुन लेते हैं तो लाइफ सिंपल हो जाता है. नहीं तो हर बात में धर्म संकट. रोज राइस खाएं कि दाल खाएं, धर्म संकट. वी आर ऑल ग्रेट पीपल ना. वी आर ऑल ग्रेट पीपल. छोटा छोटा बात में धर्म संकट हो जाता है. इफ छोटा छोटा बात में धर्म संकट हो रहा है, व्हाट डज इट मीन? What does it mean? We have no understanding only. Therefore, everything is confusion. Bhagavad Gita is a journey from confusion to clarity. C to C. Bhagavad Gita is a journey from confusion to clarity. अभी अंडरस्टैंडिंग ही नहीं है, रीडिंग हेयरिंग नहीं किया, सर्विस नहीं किया, रियलाइजेशंस नहीं है, मैच्योरिटी नहीं है बाय ब्लेसिंग्स, तो बात में धर्म संकट. That's not a good symptom. बात में धर्म संकट. To the extent we are reading, hearing, to the extent we are practicing sincerely, to the extent we are taking shelter of Guru and Krishna, to that extent they will guide us from within. बात में धर्म संकट नहीं आएगा, कभी क्लियर भी रहेगा. Like that. Okay, so we will proceed. And then we know, so they are saying, "Arey, yaar, tu gone kaise?" But then Shanda Mark say, "Arey, no, sorry, give us one more chance. We'll take him and now we'll keep him under strict surveillance. Quarantine करके रखेंगे इसको, देखेंगे क्या चल रहा है इसका. We'll make sure that we tell him whatever you want us to tell him." So he goes second time to school, and now he does even more. First he was himself practicing, now preaching. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also did like that in Chaitanya Charitamrita, if you see. After coming back from Gaya, he started Kirtan. He inaugurated Sankirtan movement after meeting Ishwar Puri. Correct? पहले क्या किया? गेट बंद करके अंदर किया. किसके घर में? सेवा संगन में. चैंटिंग एंड हरि नाम कीर्तन. फिर लगा रहे यार केवल दिन में कर रहे हैं, रात में भी करना चाहिए. एक्सपेंडेड. Krishna consciousness is not about being stagnant. Krishna consciousness is not about being stagnant. It is always about progressive. Prabhupada writes somewhere that we have to become a progressive devotee. What kind of devotee we have to become? मतलब कल ऐसे थे तो आज उससे बेटर, नेक्स्ट डे उससे बेटर. अब डेली बेसिस पे नहीं हो रहा है, कम से कम वीकली बेसिस पे, कम से कम मंथली बेसिस पे, कम से कम ईयरली बेसिस पे, कि लास्ट ईयर में जो जैसा था इस साल उससे बेटर हूं डिवोटी. ह्यूमिलिटी में, टॉलरेंस में, रेस्पेक्ट में, ग्रेटिट्यूड में, अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ शास्त्रास में, सर्विस में, चैंटिंग में, टेस्ट इन चैंटिंग में. वी हैव टू आस्क अवरसेल्व्स लाइक दैट, अदरवाइज समथिंग इज रॉन्ग. अदरवाइज हम आए थे कुछ लक्ष्य को लेकर, पर बीच में कुछ और से डिस्ट्रैक्ट हो गए. करेक्ट? गोल कैन बी आउट ऑफ रीच बट शुड नेवर बी आउट ऑफ साइट. सो चैतन्य महाप्रभु, he did this, daytime no more, night time no more, came out, harinam procession no more, sannyas. You see, like that, increasing. Raghunath Das Goswami, renunciation, this much, no, more, like that. I don't want to get distracted again, right? But we see these things very evident, that if we want to become a good devotee, if we want to go back home, back to Godhead, then we have to become a progressive devotee. Something like that Prahlad Maharaj also did. Of course, he was a devotee, only pure devotee, Nitya Siddha. But the point is, in this Leela we can see that now he started preaching also now. Forget I practicing. We are not Bhajananandis, we are Goshti Anandis. And then now we know all these nice things, what he taught. Amazing. That's another nice section. Amazing teachings of Prahlad Maharaj. TTPM. Transcendental Teachings of Prahlad Maharaj. We don't get into that today right now. Okay. So after all these things, the classmates are wonderstruck. अरे तू तो मेरे साथ हाफ पैंट पहन के क्रिकेट खेलता था, तेरे को कैसे इतना सब पता है? How do you know these things? You are also a child. Prahlad Maharaj says, "Arey, I know these things by mercy of Narad Muni." These boys said, "Arey, we are seeing you from your birth. As far as we know, you have not met Narad Muni. When and where did you meet Narad Muni?" And then Prahlad Maharaj tells this. Prahlad Maharaj tells, you know what? I was, when my mother was pregnant, Kayadu was pregnant, I was in the womb. That time, the Devatas headed by, who was the class monitor? Narad Muni. Indra. Indra and all the Devatas, they came. What they thought? Na rahega baans na bajegi bansuri. In Hindi they say, right? I don't know what is the Kannada equivalent. Can anybody? There must be some Kannada equivalent of this. Is there any Kannada equivalent? Anyway, point everybody understood, right? Ki Hiranyakashipu ko to we cannot do anything. He is out of our power. But at least this Chirag, Kuldeepak of Hiranyakashipu, who is in Kayadu's womb, let us finish him. So Indra and all the demigods, they come to Kayadu and they are about to kill Prahlad Maharaj. Kayadu and Prahlad Maharaj. Immediately Narad Muni comes. Because Narad Muni knows who is Prahlad, a great devotee of the Lord. Narad Muni says, stop. What do they do? Stop. Prithu and Indra were fighting. Brahma told Prithu, stop. What did Prithu do? Stop. Devotee. That's a devotee. So though we may have a lot of wrong lessons from Indra and demigods and all that, but we have to understand that at the end of the day, they are devotees of Krishna. And one very important characteristic of devotees is surrender. Surrender to Guru and Krishna. Let not my will be done, but thy will be done. Right? And that is what again is exemplified. We saw many examples again, remember? And again, another example we see here. Narad Muni said, stop, don't kill him, he is a great devotee. They said, they did not know about if he has no, sir, do, don't understand, no, do, nothing. They said, okay, Narad Muni, abhi aap dekho. Whatever he may have said. Right? So that's the beauty. That's Krishna consciousness, surrender. And then we fast forward a little bit, right? Fast forward a little bit, that again Prahlad Maharaj comes and Hiranyakashipu asks, okay, what is the best thing you learned? And all that. Again, Prahlad Maharaj is glorifying Krishna. Now this is too much for Hiranyakashipu. Itna power kidhar se milta hai tere ko? It's like too much. Hiranyakashipu, now no more arguments. He says the whole world is shivering out of my fear, and this my own son, where is he getting power from? He is asking, itna shakti kidhar se mil raha hai tere ko? Like that he is asking. Prahlad Maharaj again, my dear father, jidhar se aapko mil raha hai, idhar se mere ko nahi. Wherever you are getting from that, now he is even more Akbabula. You know, Hiranyakashipu is now on another, I don't know what cloud he is in now, you know. And he's saying, okay, where is your Vishnu? Tell me where is the Vishnu. And before this there is one, I don't know how much time I have. Huh? No, honestly. No, till 10 we will try to end. There is one shloka which, you know, Hiranyakashipu says, exactly. You know, so Hiranyakashipu now he is really out of control. Already he was out of control. Now all of them are out of control because Prahlad Maharaj is giving all credit to Vishnu, who is his enemy number one. So Hiranyakashipu is telling, Shri Hiranyakashipu Vacha, He Durvinita Mandatman, Kula Bheda Karadhama, Stabdham Machas Novrittam, Neshetwadya Yamakshayam. Hiranyakashipu is giving all bad words to Prahlad. Now he is really, it's too much for Hiranyakashipu. He is telling, you are Durvinitam. Durvinita means rascal, uncivilized, impudent. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has a very special rasa. Whenever any demon would chastise either Krishna or a devotee of Krishna, in his commentaries, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur will give a different twist. He will say Saraswati is a servant of Krishna. So we'll use the scholarship to glorify Krishna and his devotees. He does that when Jarasandha is giving all bad words to Krishna, he does that. Same way he does that many places. Similarly here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is doing. In his commentary he says, Hiranyakashipu is saying Durvinitam, that Prahlad Maharaj is impudent and rascal. But what he really means is this. Du means material world. Dukhalema Shashvatam. Du means material world. V means especially, specifically. And Nita means brought in. So Prahlad is that great devotee of the Lord who has been specially brought into this material world for the deliverance of the entire material world. Durvinita. Specifically brought into the material world. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling. And Samacharya say that, see, this is what Krishna does. Krishna says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. I come whenever there is decline in the religious principles. But when Krishna does not come, he sends his devotees. Like that he sent Prahlad Maharaj. Like that he sent Prabhupada. Like that. So Durvinita. Then he says, Mandatman. Mandatman means Hiranyakashipu is telling you are a fool, number one. Mandadami ho tum. Mandatman. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling, जो मंद लोग है ना उनका रखवाला है उनका सेवियर है he is a deliverer of all the manda people like that Vishwanath Chakravarti was telling. Then he is telling Hiranyakashipu कुल भेद करादमा कुल भेद करादमा मतलब खानदान की इज्जत को मिट्टी में डुबो दिया something like that, right? The worst person in the whole ancestry by his actions. And what is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur telling? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling that Prahlad Maharaj by his actions, he has made great personalities who has made big dynasties also look insignificant. Kul Bhed Karadhama, those people who have brought good name to their families by doing such great achievements. Prahlad Maharaj's actions and achievements are even greater that these achievements are also nothing in compared to him. Like that he says. And then he says, Stabdham, Jiddi. Obstinate, जिद्दी, स्तब्धम. And Vishwanath Chakravarti is telling, एक डिवोटी जिद्दी होता है, गलत काम नहीं करेगा, कृष्णा की सेवा करेगा, कृष्णा को वर्शिप करेगा. For that he is stubborn. He is telling like that for Prahlad Maharaj. Then he is telling, Madchhasanodritam, that he is disobedient to me. And Vishwanath Chakravarti is telling, yes, he is a demon father, and Prahlad Maharaj, devotees like Prahlad Maharaj are not obedient to demon fathers. He is telling. And then he is saying Yamakshayam. Yamakshayam means that this person, will be taken care of by Yamaraj now. Nothing can be done. No hope of this guy. So Vishwanath Chakravarti is telling, every conditioned soul is under control of Yamaraj. But Hiranyakashipu said that he considered Prahlad Maharaj his deliverer, for Prahlad will stop Hiranyakashipu's repetition of birth and death. मतलब यम के पास से इसको छुटकारा दिलाएगा. That's what Vishwanath Chakravarti is telling. That's what Hiranyakashipu means. Like that. There's amazing rasa going on. between pure devotees and the Lord. Yeah. Okay. And then Hiranyakashipu says, किधर से इतना पावर मिल रहा है तुमको? प्रहलाद महाराज से इधर से आपको मिल रहा है. Okay, where is your Vishnu? Is he here? Is he here? You know? And we know, Hiranyakashipu says, is he here in the pillar? Do we have a drama today evening? Nothing. एक बार एक प्रॉब्लम हो गया. You know, like, see, we are only in material world. So ड्रामा करने के लिए पिलर के अंदर पहले से बैठना पड़ेगा नरसिंह भगवान. In this case, it was not like that. He can manifest from anywhere instantly. तो ड्रामा में नरसिंह भगवान को थोड़ा टॉयलेट आ गया था. So drama started, but this person was not in the pillar. The pillar से कुछ निकला नहीं. That's a different matter. But anyway, that did not happen here. You know, so whatever pillar Prahlad Maharaj said, once, you know, something very funny happened with me. It's getting recorded, but anyway, I'm being laughed about, so it's okay. I did one drama once, Narsingh Dev. I became Narsingh Dev. If I don't have specs, I can't see who is Hiranyakashipu, who is Narad Muni. So what happened? And those who were in Pune that day, they will remember this incident. And you know, I was telling Prabhuji, on specs can we put mask? And the director and everybody told, yes, Prabhu, don't worry, you just come. I said, okay, surrender. I came, you know. That mask which they got, उसका जो दो होल था ना, it was somewhere here and there only. So first of all, specs was ruled out. Secondly, वो breathing के लिए दो होल था, and the eyes के लिए दो होल था. And मेरा पूरा disoriented था वो. So now I am not seeing anything from my eyes because two holes were on my forehead. If I can breathe only, that was good. Now between breathing and seeing, what will you choose, Prabhu? Between breathing and seeing, what will you choose? So I chose those two holes for breathing. Eyes were two holes on my forehead and specs bhi nahi hai. Now, Prabhu, audience was laughing. Hiranyakashipu is there. No, he is not Hiranyakashipu, he is Jai Vijay. You know, ultimately devotee only. Na? Person who is devotee, drama acting who is doing is devotee only. We have done rehearsal together. He was smart to understand something is wrong with Narsingh Dev. So I was trying to do ha like that here and there. He understood I am not able to find Hiranyakashipu. So he was coming in my, you know, so my arms were like this. So he would come. And then I would, oh, he has come. Then I would do things. Then he'll fall. Again, he would lift and come inside my arms. So that was happening. And then finally, somehow we pulled across that drama, you know, and everybody, you know, had a nice time there. But anyway, coming back. So Hiranyakashipu asked that, you know, is your Vishnu here in this pillar? Look at the confidence of this preacher. What was Prahlad Maharaj? A preacher. सब जगह जहाँ जगह बड़ा बड़ा बात बोल रहे कृष्ण के बारे में. पर खुद के अंदर कन्विक्शन भी है. A preacher is not the one who is just speaking big things. A preacher should be speaking with conviction. I remember some 25 years back when I was, you know, about to give my first class. One of my mentors, I was telling Prabhuji what to remember, how to speak, what to do. He said some 2-3 things. One is about loyalty to parampara. Speaking as an insignificant servant for our own purification, these things he said. One thing which he said touched my heart. He said, if you speak from brain, it will go to brain. If you speak from heart, it will go to heart. Like that. So preacher should speak with conviction. He should not just speak some big things from here. Yes, we can speak big things as a matter of aspiring. Because whatever we are speaking, our prayer consciousness is, may we follow what we are speaking. So nothing wrong with that also. At the same time, there are some things we are convinced about. After practicing Krishna consciousness for some time, there are some things we are convinced about. We should speak those things with that conviction. And one devotee told that the fact that Narsingh Dev came out of the pillar or not came out of the pillar or whatever was also a test of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj is telling everybody Krishna is everywhere. And now Hiranyakashipu asked, is he there? If you or me were there, I mean, I don't know about you, I were there, I would have said, no, just give us some time, or no, something else we can do. He had full faith, yeah, he is here. Full faith on Krishna, yes, he is here. That was a test of Prahlad Maharaj. Not that, oh no, sorry father, whatever you will say, we'll do, no, sorry. We did not know it will escalate so much. We did not know that the matter will escalate so much. No, okay, whatever you are saying is fine. No, Yes, he is there, do whatever you want to do. He did not say like that, but that's his consciousness. I have full faith in Krishna's protection. And Prahlad said, yes, he is there. I don't have internet here right now, but this was a nice sound of Narsingh Bhagwan coming. So we know, as soon as Hiranyakashipu broke the pillar with his fist, what happened? Shri Narsingh Dev Bhagwan ki jai, Narsingh Swami ki jai, Lakshmi Narsingh Dev ki jai, Prahlad Narsingh ki jai. You know, and then with this sloka, we say Satyam Vidhatum Nijabhritya Bhashitam. To make the words of his dear devotee true. Prahlad said, is there Krishna here? Yes, he is here. So Narsingh Dev came. So he came to keep the words of many people. Of Prahlad Maharaj. Also Brahmaji. We know how calculative Hiranyakashipu was. Day, night. So Narsingh Dev killed him in the evening. You know, in some yuga, in some kalpa, Narsingh Dev came in the morning and he waited some time pass and then he killed in the evening. Something like that. So evening, then neither astra nor shastra. So nails. Then what else? Neither inside nor outside. So the boundary. Then nor land nor air. So lap. And then neither man nor animal. So Narasingha. Like that we know. So he also protected Brahma's words. He protected Prahlad Maharaj's words. Satyam vidhatum nijabhritya bhashitam. So it is interesting. Krishna is ready to do what not to keep the words of his pure devotee true. This is a very important point to be understood. You see what Krishna is ready to do. Anybody has seen half lion, half man? People may laugh also. Chaitanya Prabhu says he is half lion, half man, but full God. Half lion, half man, but full God. So Krishna is willing to come in any shape, any form, anywhere for the sake of his devotees. And it is said that whenever a pure devotee of the Lord says something, it will be true. It will be true. Prabhupada said there should be a temple here. After some time there is a temple here. Our disciples of Prabhupada, they are desiring everybody in Bangalore should chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Do you think it will happen? Do we have full faith? It will happen. Either through us, through somebody else, through whoever, their life will become perfect and this will happen. So Lord is ready to do what not for the sake of his devotees. Are we ready to do everything for the sake of the Lord? That's the question we have to ask. Lord is ready to do anything and everything for the sake of his devotees. Are we ready to do anything and everything for the sake of the Lord? Vrajvasis teach us that. Vrajvasis are not topmost devotees just like that. When everything was wonderful in Vrindavan, full Varnashram, full Vedic eco-village, everything was wonderful in Vrindavan before Krishna came. After Krishna came, what happened? One after the other, Mamaji was sending toys. You see, Mama, you know Mama? Mother's brother. So when mother gives birth, what does mother's brother do? Sends gifts and toys. So comes Mama was sending toys, sometimes bird toy, sometimes snake toy, like that. And our baby Krishna was playing with those toys, toys were getting broken. That's a different matter. But so much disturbance happened in Vrindavan because of, Krishna coming. And one point we know Govardhan Leela. They were all, year after year, they were worshipping Indra. Everything was wonderful, no problem. Krishna says, isko chhod ke Govardhan worship karte hain. And they knew the consequences. The Vrajvasis, they knew the consequences. Now they had two choices. Either to please Krishna and do what he says, or to invite self-destruction. Please understand it from this perspective. They had two choices. हम लोग सुन लेते हैं, पढ़ लेते हैं, बोल लेते हैं, but do we understand the gravity of the situation that time? They had two choices. Either invite self-destruction or please Krishna. What did they choose? Forget about my self-destruction. Don't worry. I don't care. For me, pleasing Krishna is more important. So they always prioritized Krishna over everything else. That's why they are topmost devotees of Krishna. Prioritizing Krishna over everything else. We have to ask ourselves, are we prioritizing Krishna over other things in our life? It does not mean 24 hours we are in temple. We have so many other duties. But what does prioritizing mean? Are we prioritizing chanting Hare Krishna? Are we prioritizing coming to temple at least one day a week? Those who are staying in temple, wonderful. But those of us, as I was telling yesterday evening, some of us are staying in a private ward. See, ashram means hospital. Brahmachari ashram means general ward. Grihastha ashram means private ward with a nurse, as I was telling yesterday evening, right? So those who are staying in general ward, anyway they are here. चाहे वो चाहे नहीं चाहे उनको आना ही पड़ेगा. Right? Daily they are taking association of devotees. Those who are staying in private ward, it's our risk. We have to make sure that we take association. We have to make sure that we chant nicely. Nobody is watching, so we have to chant nicely still. Right? We have to prioritize coming to temple once a week at least for the morning program to chant together with devotees. Right? So this is the meaning of prioritizing Krishna. If we prioritize Krishna, you see what magic Krishna will do in our lives. And then we know how Narsimha, they were so angry. Ugra Narsimha, we have Mayapur Ugra Narsimha, that pastime separate. It was so angry, like that, breathing heavily. The whole world, the whole universe was shaking, the whole creation was shaking. All these demigods, they were afraid what to do, what not to do. Lakshmi ji was also afraid what to do. And they all said, Prahlad, you only go and pacify Lord Narsimha. And we know how wonderful prayers, Prahlad Maharaj offers, to Lord Narsimha. And such amazing, infinite lessons in this pastime. But again, we are just taking some other aspects today. It's very important for us to understand. I would like to end with this, that typically Narsimha and all, it's like, Vaikuntha Bhav, Aishwarya Bhav and all that. Now, Gaudiya Vaishnavism for us, what is prominent? Madhurya Bhav, Vatsalya, Sakhya, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaudiya Vaishnavas, worship of Radha Krishna in Vrindavan. Right? So all of a sudden Narsimha मतलब थोड़ा रसभास जैसा लग रहा है, you see, वृंदावन रम्यस्था उग्रम वीरम महाविष्णुम ज्वलंतम सरदोमुखम थोड़ा ऐसा है. So this question is raised. लेकिन गौड़िया वैष्णव में ये नरसिंह भगवान क्या कर रहा है, नरसिंह स्वामी, like that. What is he doing? So Acharya very nicely explained. Once somebody asked Pankajangri Prabhu this question, that ये कैसे है? तो Pankajangri Prabhu told so many points. He told that see, our goal is Radha Krishna only in Vrindavan. That's our goal. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us that topmost access. But we are not qualified. We have so many anarthas in our heart. We are not qualified. So we pray to Lord Narsimha to remove those anarthas, to keep us protected so that we can achieve that goal. That's one thing he said. Second thing he said is that so we pray to Narsimha to kill Hiranyakashipu in our heart. What did Narsimha do? He sat on Hiranyakashipu's throne, because ultimately everything belongs to Krishna. Correct? So let's say, our spiritual master comes or Prabhupada comes, and I am a big owner of this thing. If he is a devotee, if he is a disciple, what will he do? Immediately he will get aside and he will make Prabhupada or Guru sit on the owner's seat. We have seen that devotees do that. Because the concept is what? That he is the owner of everything. He or his devotees. Correct? We are all caretakers. Like that, now Hiranyakashipu himself is doing or not does not matter. Narsimha is forcefully doing that. So somebody does willingly. Somebody has to be forced. Like that. So Narsimha is killing Hiranyakashipu and sitting on the throne. Our prayer is that he should kill the Hiranyakashipu of our heart, the anarthas of our heart, and sit on the throne of our heart. That's our prayer. Vrajavasis, whenever anything happens, they take shelter of Govardhan. Vrindavan comes as Navdeep Dham in a merciful form. In Navdeep Dham, when we have to take shelter of Krishna, that is through Narsimha. Pankajangri said that in Navdeep Dham, how do we take shelter? How we beg for protection? Through Narsimha. And Prabhupada, as we discussed, he said that please pray for your spiritual master's health because his mission is not yet complete. And we know in Chaitanya Leela how Advaita Acharya, when he wanted to invite Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what did Advaita Acharya do? He worshipped Narsingha Shila. Srivas Thakur, because of the fear of Kazi, Srivas Thakur was worshipping Narsingha Shila. And on one occasion, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed him the Narsingha Roop. He said, I am he, he said. Whoever you are worshipping Narsingha, I am he, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. We know Chand Kazi case also, that first civil disobedience movement. When they have this conversation, what does Chand Kazi show? On his chest, Chand Kazi shows, last night, Narsingh Dev came in my vision, in my dream, and he told, you rascal, what are you doing? So then Narsingh Dev gave him some dose of mercy by scratching, and Narsingh Dev gave a warning. If you continue to do this, right now I have just given a sample, tomorrow you will be finished. Chankali tells like that to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I think he understood, okay, so like that. So Lord as lion protects us from the elephant of offenses that can destroy our bhakti. We know the aparad is considered like what? Elephant. Who can conquer elephant? Lion of Narsingadev. Yeah. Srila Prabhupada emphasized worship of Krishna, Ram, Narsingadev. And of course we know how the story of Mayapur Narsingadev also, and after that our problems there have at least reduced. I wanted before ending, and this is indeed the last slide, before ending I wanted to do one quick exercise about, so today is a day when we can offer prayers to Lord Narsingadev, correct? Can we all try to remember all obstacles which we face in our life? And I would request all Prabhus, Matajis, managers, leaders, everybody to participate in this. Let us all speak about the obstacles we are facing in our life, and let us consciously offer prayers to Lord Narsingadev to take care of those obstacles so that we can progress in spiritual life nicely. So what are the different obstacles we face in our spiritual life? Yes, Mataji? Sleeping. Sleeping at night or during class and during chanting? During chanting and class. Yes. So let's pray to Lord Narsingadev that we can overcome our sleep. Of course, we have to take the due rest. We cannot abuse our body. Till the time we become really Paramhamsa, we cannot abuse our body. But still we can pray for that. And Krishna can do anything. Is there anything which Krishna cannot do? Is there any demon which Krishna can't kill? Is there any negativity which Krishna can't turn into positivity? No. Any other obstacle? Uncontrolled mind. Number one obstacle, uncontrolled mind. While chanting, our legs, our mind says a lot. Chalo, उठ के चलते चलते chanting करते हैं. But we know, चलते चलते chanting करना is also an excuse to somehow give some breathing space to mind. How many of you felt like that? That when you are in the fire of Sankirtan, devotees sitting close together and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. How many of you have felt that it's like a fire of Sankirtan, and in that fire mind is burning? How many of you felt like that? And then how many of us have witnessed that mind will start giving excuses? I'm talking about myself also. Mind will give excuses. That, okay, let's just get up. Let's just go little bit, thoda, little fire से थोड़ा दूर. You see? थोड़ा हवा आएगा. थोड़ा breathing space किसको चाहिए? Mind. Let's walk. Walk में थोड़ा क्या chanting का pressure थोड़ा कम हो जाता है. बात में चलते चलते chanting हो जाता है. Right? But if we really want to go back to Godhead, we have to chant with attention, faith and humility. Okay, mind overpower कर रहा है तो एक राउंड के लिए उठ के chanting कर दिया, वापस बैठ के mind है, चलो वापस बैठे, हो गया ना अभी, मिल गया थोड़ा breathing space, चलो वापस. Like that if we struggle, we are making advancement. Like that if we struggle. But if we give up the struggle, and if we accept this only as Krishna consciousness, then we will miss the greatest fortune which is awaiting us. Very important point. If we miss the struggle, the point is not that, oh, we'll become so pure that the mind will stop troubling. That's not the point. The point is that are we willing to take the pain? Are we willing to take the anxiety to go through that struggle? Or are we okay to sit on the mind horse and go here and there? That's the difference between Namaparad and Namabhas. For long I was wondering. बोल देते Namaparad means stage of offensive chanting. Namabhas means reflection. मैं सोचता था reflection? Reflection means what? And clearing stage. Shuddhanam we know. Namaparad we know. Namabhas I used to wonder. On a practical terms, on a day-to-day basis, what is Namabhas I used to wonder. कोई बोलता था reflection, मैं बोलता था किसका reflection किधर? कोई बोलता था clearing stage. Clearing मतलब क्या सुबह clearing जाते हो गया? बोला नहीं. Clearing stage. समझ में नहीं आया मेरे को on a day-to-day basis what it means. Then one devotee clarified. I forgot who that devotee was, but a very senior devotee he was. He clarified. Namaparad means what? Mind is saying knock knock, and you are saying okay, please come in. That is Namaparad. Shuddhanam is what? Mind is not doing knock knock. Mind is also sitting and chanting. That means my mind drama. Remember the last stage. What is Namabhas? Mind is doing knock knock, and you are saying wait. That is Namabhas. Willing to do this struggle, willing to be anxiety, take the anxiety to go to the, और वो struggle का वाला chanting ना पसीना हो जाता है, पसीना आ जाता है. It's really a tiring exercise actually. That way if we do, of course gradually it becomes easy, but it's But many times, chanting is so easy for us. Why? Because थोड़ा देखते देखते कर लिया, थोड़ा मोबाइल में कर लिया, थोड़ा चलते चलते कर लिया. I'm talking about myself. It makes chanting easy. But are we really getting benefit of that chanting which Acharyas has given us? No. The more rounds, the more daytime we keep chanting like that, that is wonderful. Again, it's not that we should not chant like that. While driving car, can I chant? Yes or no? Yes. But should sadhana wala jo rounds hai mera, should I do that while driving car? Maybe yes in emergency, but everyday emergency? That's question to be asked. You see this point? Right? So everything we have to understand very clearly ki where we are and how we can be a progressive devotee. So uncontrolled mind, very good. Any other obstacles we are facing? Overeating. So Lord Narsinghdev, actually today morning I was in a danger. When I woke up, I thought, oh, today is Narsingh Chaturdashi. Let us pray what Prahlad Maharaj is praying. Oh Lord, please remove all obstacles from my life, from my spiritual life. Then I thought, obstacles could mean my wife also. It could mean my son or children also. My bungalow or my car also. And then I thought, am I ready? Seriously, sometimes we are not pure in our intentions also, and we are not 200% crying to Krishna for that goal also. Sometimes. That's also our problem. Right? But let us have full faith that whatever Krishna wants should happen, and that will be best for us and for everybody around. Therefore, in asking also, let's not be little, no, wait, ये वाला prayer करना है, ये वाला नहीं. दिल खोल के pray करना चाहिए. Then whatever is best for us will happen. We should have that faith. Any other obstacle? Harsh speech, hurting anybody knowingly, unknowingly. Offenses, aparadh. Very good. Thank you, Tarun Krishna. Any other? False pride, obstacles in preaching, very practical. Ours is a preaching movement. We have inherited a transcendental headache. What have we done in our parampara? We have inherited a transcendental headache. That's how. Remember Sainik, mirror? So Sainik means what? Sainik means we have inherited a transcendental headache. We all should take that headache. And whatever obstacles are coming in the way of that, we should pray to Lord Narsinghdev. My dear Narsinghdev, please, if you wish, remove these obstacles. Any other obstacles? Abhijit, mobile phone. Are we ready to pray for this mobile phone to go away? Point is, let this not distract me in my spiritual life. Let me use this in service of Krishna. Let me at least have the determination to, at least for my rounds of chanting Hare Krishna, not have the temptation to touch it. Now if for 16 rounds we can't do it, no problem. Can we do it for 4 rounds? I know some devotees who do this, in 4 rounds ka set. Why they do that is because they take a vow that these 4 rounds, neither I will talk to anybody, nor I will listen to anything, nor I will get carried away by the temptation to touch the mobile. And this is not that big a target. See, one formula to be successful is to break big target into small targets. If I ask my mind to sit and chant for 16 rounds without looking here and there, without seeing mobile, without doing anything, that could be a big target for mind. But if I tell, okay, 4 rounds can you do? Mind will say, 4 rounds तो कर लेंगे, चलो 20 minutes, 30 minutes कर लेंगे, बस पकड़ लेना mind को और करना. फिर 5 minutes थोड़ा breathing space, वापस 4 rounds. That way things become easy. At least I have tried that in my life and that has worked, because I was not able to do this, at a stretch. So I thought, okay, does it mean should I now accept defeat? See, the beauty of Krishna consciousness is we should be ready to struggle. We should be ready to become better. Become better. Then we are fine. Guru, Krishna, Acharyas will take us through. But if we give up the struggle, and if we, I know time is down. If we give up the struggle, and if we accept this as Krishna consciousness, without that fire, tivrena bhakti yogena, then we are losing the battle. And that we should not do. Since the time is now not there, I would want to talk about also one more very important obstacle. That forest fire in Vrindavan. What do Acharyas say? What does Bhaktivinoda Thakur say? What is it compared to? The conflicts within. The conflicts within devotees. That is like the forest fire. What did Prabhupada say? ISKCON has danger from inside. What does it mean? Not that koi ghar ka bedi lanka dhai type. Not like that. That there is somebody here who will do something. No. That's not the point. Everybody is genuine and sincere. Everybody is genuine and sincere. But the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, Kali Raj, what is the number one weapon of Kali Raj? Quarrel. Prabhupada somewhere writes in his books, age of disagreement. Many places he writes what? Age of quarrel. We know na Kali Yuga, age of quarrel and hypocrisy. Right? Many places Prabhupada says age of quarrel. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, I think Adi Leela only first 3-4 chapters, somewhere he says age of disagreement. He says in this age of disagreement, everybody has to agree that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. And like that he says. In the age of disagreement, everybody has to. Similarly, in this age of disagreement, you all have to agree we are followers of Prabhupada. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Prabhupada. We are Prabhupada Anugas. See, I was talking about ISKCON right now. What is it that unites ISKCON? There has to be some commonality. What is it that unites ISKCON? Prabhupada. Prabhupada's books, Prabhupada's teachings. Does it mean our Guru has no role to play? Does it mean Guru has no identity and individuality? No. I mean, he has. That's what I'm trying to say. He has. Guru has an identity. Guru has an individuality. But among all Gurus, this is one family. We are all smaller families within one big family. That's very, very important. All disciples of Prabhupada are wanting to tell us this thing before they are all gone. We know how one by one they are going. It's our greatest misfortune, but it's also a reality. Correct? Now it's the responsibility is on our shoulders to make sure that we pray to Lord Nrsimhadev. We pray to Lord Nrsimhadev today on this, appearance of Lord Nrsimhadev, that may ISKCON be protected from all obstacles, external and internal. And the biggest one would be from within. से कोई खतरा नहीं है हमको. Our philosophy is best, our devotees are best, our love and care is best. But internally, if there are disagreements, quarrels, which escalate, which we are not able to resolve, then we may break down. Then we may break into pieces. Jai Shri Radha Madhav Jagannath Baladev Subramanya Gaurnita So that is a very important thing. And that is what happened with Gaudiya Math. That's what happened with Gaudiya Math also. That unity got lost and got fragmented. We have to make sure that we have unity in diversity. Diversity is important. Do you think diversity is important or no? Imagine there is a vase. I know an argument between two very senior devotees on email. And I was a witness to those arguments, and I'm just sharing some lessons from that argument. One argument was, is diverse color, is that better, or flowers of different color, is that better? So this person was talking about diversity is good. Another person was saying, yes, diversity is good. But if the flowers of different colors are scattered all over in the hall, is that good? Or when they are nicely put together in a vase, is that good? So he said, yes, diversity is good. But when there is unity in diversity, that makes it even better. What a brilliant point. Different color flowers are good, yes. So therefore, many times the argument is not between right or wrong. The argument is between right and right. Right and right. And that's where we have to take shelter of higher principle, collective unity, collective leadership, unity and all that. So let us all today on this day of Lord Nrsimhadev's appearance, Narsingh Chaturdashi, let us all pray that may this movement be protected, may our own individual spiritual lives be protected, may all of our spiritual lives be protected, and may this whole world become more and more Krishna conscious. I actually happened to go to the second floor and I was so happy to see some posters there, which is about different disciples of Prabhupada. I don't know how many of you have gone there. I just happened to go there and I saw there were some posters put. Like that, it's very nice. Temple should have nice posters, So there are different disciples of Prabhupada and there are glories mentioned of them, Similarly, on this side, I think there are some Krishna conscious couples and such things are mentioned. Of what will keep this movement going strong as ISKCON? See, as individual units, things will happen, things may not happen, you never know. But we want to make sure that ISKCON as a big unit, as a big family all over the world, stays protected and stays strong. Correct? Do we want that? ISKCON is like a big boat, big ship, whose captain is Prabhupada. For that to happen, we have to remember our gratitude to Prabhupada. My mentor has given 10 instructions. One of those instructions is, every day, secretly cry out tears of gratitude for Prabhupada. I was so touched when I read that. And the more we will, because see, generations are coming, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, we are going to go that way, distance wise, we are going to go further and further away from Prabhupada. But should we actually go away from Prabhupada? We should not. He is the prominent Acharya. like that. So let's make sure that we keep that strong. So we should remember the gratitude, we should remember Prabhupada's sacrifice and all the disciples of Prabhupada. We do not know how long they are there on this planet. They had direct access to Prabhupada. They know what Prabhupada wanted. They have themselves expressed the highest levels of surrender, which many of us can't imagine. What kind of surrender they have expressed. We should have gratitude to those, and that would keep the whole ISKCON family very united. We should have that in our vision. So it's my humble request that all of us should always remember Prabhupada's disciples, what they have done for us, and that should be that unifying force among all of us to take that ship of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, conquer the all three directions. We'll just end with this nice shloka. This comes in Shri Narsimha Kavach by Prahlad Maharaj. Yes, this is last shloka. Yeah, this is last shloka. So let's recite this. Garjantam garjayantam nija bhuja patalam spotayantam hatantam. Garjantam garjayantam nija bhuja patalam spotayantam. Deepayantam tapayantam divi bhuvi didijam shepayantam shipantam. Kradantam roshayantam dishi dishi satatam samarantam bharantam. Vikshantam purnayantam karanikarashatay divyasimham namami. So this is our collective prayer to Lord Narsingadev, the first one and this last one. Lord Narsingadev rose loudly, and this is again offered by Prahlad Maharaj. This Sri Narsinga Kavacha is, and that's what this line says. Iti Shri Brahmanda Purane. So this comes in Brahmand Puran. Iti Shri Brahmand Purane Prahladoktam. Prahlad Maharaj said this. Shri Narsimha Kavacham Sampurnam. This is the very last shloka of that Narsingh Kavach. Lord Narsingh rose loudly and causes others to roar. With his multitudes of arms, he tears the demons asunder and kills them in this way. Asunder means tears them to pieces. He is always seeking out and tormenting the demoniac descendants of Diti, both on this earth planet and in the higher planets, and he throws them down and scatters them. He cries with great anger as he destroys the demons in all directions. Yet with his unlimited hands, he sustains, protects, and nourishes the cosmic manifestation. I offer my respectful obeisances to the Lord who has assumed the form of a transcendental lion. Shri Narsingadev Bhagwan ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Narsingh Chaturdashi Maha Mahotsav ki jai, Yantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we would actually want to hear more and more from Prabhuji, but we have a Sunday feast class and other programs lined up. So let us express our heartfelt gratitude to His Grace Vyasacharya Prj for such an enlightening session by one time loudly chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Narsingh Yajna is started above for those devotees who want to go for Yajna. Others, the Darshanarthi in the Guru Puja will happen right here. Hare Krishna.